welcome everyone to the African Humanist After Party. Oh, somebody's got the music going on in the background, so I have to.
Sorry.
Was it you? It's okay. Yeah, apparently me choosing to go early on in the day is kind of thrown people off because not a lot of folks have responded to coming into the after party. But we do have, of course, the guest of honor today. The African Humanist is with us, and my good friend Maya is also with us.
Hi, everybody.
I do know that Cynthia will be joining us, but she's waiting, or she's quickly cleaning up the kitchen so that the oven repairman isn't, I guess, disgusted by the mess or something along those lines.
Can relate.
Yeah. And B is in the chat. B, I did send you a link, so you're welcome to jump in here because I thought you guys were trying to hijack my show or something. I thought that was your plan, the big master plan.
I know. How do you have a girl stream without a bunch of girls? God damn it, women, get your shit together. And
I've got the hair for it, so I guess I can
be
an honorary girl.
It's your show. Well, you can keep the penis.
Okay. All right. I guess it's useful for something these days. But again, Esther, thank you very much for doing the original interview with me today. It was a great pleasure to have you on as a guest today. And if you guys missed the original interview, there is a link to it below, which will also take you over to where you can also find all of her links. So you can check her out on YouTube and Twitter and the like there. Okay, so we'll go over and check out those links as well. You guys were just recently on the stream, which is where you concocted this evil maniacal plan to take over my show with Be Mindful, or I think it was on Tuesday, and I was actually tuned in for some of that, and you guys were a riot that night. It was a lot of fun to watch. Yeah,
that was a fun stream.
It sure was. So I think maybe when you guys let's talk a little bit about what you guys talked about on that stream, because I think some of the stuff was kind of important. So
yeah.
Well, I wasn't there, so it's up to you guys.
Oh, sorry. we are chatty. And Esther, I kind of felt bad for cutting you off a lot. But, in my defense, huge wine glass.
Oh. Let me see if I can give a link to Simply Secular.
But today I've got my coffee. It's early. God, what is it? Like 4:00?
The 4:00 where you are? See, it's only like 1:40 where I am.
No, the real time is 4:40.
The real time. In the real world, Neil, it's 4:30.
And
but I'm on the.
It's nearly 10 p.m.
Yeah.
Oh wow. See, yeah. Now that's a decent hour. I love 10 p.m. I'm all awake and vibrant, and life's great.
But you've got coffee. You got some go juice going.
I can't live without this stuff. And so people like to make me feel bad about having like a vice. And I'm like, like everybody has a vice, right? So, for some people it's YouTube. Some people smoke. Some people, I drink. I can't call drinking my vice, though. It's not like I need it for anything at all. It's just something I do. No different than drinking like milk. But like my coffee, it has to be in the house. Like I don't know how to just magnify that. It's one of those things. It's just like, no, you don't not do this, So this thing I use to wake up in the morning or process the words you're saying.
Takes two of these for me. Two Timmys, right?
See, so, Neil,
free plug, Timmys.
Right? This is why I love Neil. He gets me.
So I always go out and I get a couple of bagel sandwiches with some bacon and eggs on it, and then I get the two Timmys and a couple of their hash browns, which are generally just like the McDonald's ones, really, but they're tasty. We're not alone. Zach says coffee is my vice too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We also, I didn't know, Esther, if you heard, we actually came up with a bunch of different great streams, or I guess topics for streams. And one of them is going to be the drunk history.
Oh, yeah.
So B is going to start that, I think, Tuesday. Tuesday or Monday or Tuesday. It's one of the days I can't be there. So I don't know. So my job, I work as a administrator in a retirement place. And we're doing this second round COVID vaccination shots. And on the day that she said that she was going to do it, Monday. Okay, see, B's listening to me. I love that. So yeah, and about that, the COVID shot, please, if you can, try to get that. You can't complain about wanting everything to be back to normal and also be anti-vax. It's just not there. There's what you want and there's a way to get it, right? What we know about the COVID shot, and I'm not clinical in the least. Like I said, I'm an administrator. I do all the back stuff to make sure that people get paid and that everything can run so that you can get the things you need out of your healthcare professional. That's me. But I do absorb some stuff through, just being there. And what we know about the COVID shot, there's things that are individual. So individuals, group, very, very small groups of people, not even statistically significant, kicking and coffee, have had reactions to the vaccine. So this is no different than maybe you have a bottle of something. Everybody's on something, right? You have your heart medication. Like for me, I have my ADD medication. Oh, really? Oh, you're not an American either. Okay.
No, that's true.
We have commercials just for drugs, right? These are things you're supposed to go and tell your doctor, I have the thing. And if you don't have the thing, the doctor would diagnose you with the thing so he can put you on the drug. It is so great to be an American. Anyways, most people have at least a one time had a drug. And like antibiotics have side effects even, right? And the COVID vaccine that we know of has fewer side effects than any of the things that have been approved for the market. What we fear. No side effects to that except feeling good.
Oh,
yeah.
What is that?
It's not a drug.
It's marijuana.
It's feel good medication.
Yeah, it's actually it's known to help with a lot of things.
It's better than an SSRI.
No. This is what it comes in. It's a package from the government, right?
Oh, right.
Ours is legal here, but basically
he has illegal shit, which is way better than that street shit.
Nice.
It is nice. It is so nice.
I'm moving to Canada. I'm moving to Canada soon.
The average THC level for the drug the government regulated ones is around 15 to 18%, whereas you can get 23 to 28% outside on the street. So it's still better, but I don't really care. I only a couple puffs here and there, watch a movie, that kind of thing, right? So, but I like to have a few puffs at night. Also helps me sleep or fall asleep. So, because I am an insomniac. For the most part.
No, my best friend does the same thing. Well, one of them, she says she can't sleep unless she's, she has a, what do you call those little, is it a hitter?
You mean like these one-hit wonders? These things here?
Yeah, that thing. Yeah. So she takes maybe 2 or 3 puffs of that, and like half an hour later, she can fall asleep. But yeah,
it does help for sure.
I just don't like smoking. I don't know.
Eat gummy bears.
Okay, so they're not. I mean, they're medically illegal in my state, but I don't know anywhere I could go to get without. Yeah, I can't go anywhere without a medication. My doctor prescribed me something else.
Right, and I don't know how it would interact with whatever medications you're taking too. Right, you got to consider that as well because it is a drug. Yeah.
Yeah, they keep saying that. Like, I didn't buy it in high school.
THC oil is another way you can go. It's just a little drop in your food. Into soup or something like that if you want.
Oh, look at you. Look at you, little pothead. Just like, what else can I do with THC?
Well, the first letter is T, so you can put it in your tea, like you were wondering earlier.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, you could do that.
It's legal here.
See,
It's
I
legal?
love this.
Awesome.
No, it's not.
Oh, it's
not
all
legal. Oh, that sucks.
No,
Come on, Britain.
not in the UK. No, not in the US.
Why?
It's not.
It's just mean.
I don't know. Hopefully that changes soon.
It should.
Some senator, I can't remember what her name was. She put out this tweet about, all the overdoses from marijuana. I'm like,
what?
No.
Who are these people? Can I get one name? Like, seriously,
I have no idea who the hell it was.
I've never heard of that a day in my life.
I know, although there are deaths that have been related to people who smoke pot, but it's usually they're in an accident.
Right. I'm like, what did they fall asleep behind the wheel?
Right, or something, or just too high to drive, which is a bad thing to do. It's like drinking.
No,
if you smoke, don't be driving.
Do not do that.
Right. You're distracted.
You have weed. You can make friends.
Yeah, exactly.
You're one of them. Oh, my God.
So Robert says that we make cakes with it. Now, that's one cake I would eat.
Yeah, the edibles are actually pretty good. I've had cookies that are really good too.
Yeah, I have friends that keep trying to because we get random drug tested, so I kind of worry about doing anything without a prescription. But no, wait, I'm sorry. My company last year stopped incorporating marijuana into their drug test results, so I guess I could. But yeah, I hear the brownies. If you just said brownies, and that's what they keep trying to give me, like my friends who homemade. Well, I guess you'd have to. Well, actually, you don't have to, but they do. They have conversations about who is the best pot brownie maker, and of course, you have to try it to weigh in.
Yeah, well, you can't make a judgment call if you don't try it, right?
Right. But I don't know. I hear they're really potent, so I'm kind of scared to try it.
Made with pot butter. Yes, that's one of the ways you do it, man. Make it with pot butter. I had bacon brownies. Yeah, what you do is you render the marijuana into butter, right? Okay. You make it in oil, and then you add it to the butter, and you make butter out of it, and then you do all your baking with it. And you can manipulate the levels of THC that you want in there as well.
Wait. So, I thought you said bacon. I was like, bacon butter pot brownie?
Bacon. Yes.
Oh, my God.
Bacon brownies, and they were pot brownies, and they were absolutely delicious.
Do you have those on hand? Like, I will drive to you.
I do not, but I do know where I can get them. So.
Holy shit.
Yeah. And I don't think they'll let you up here without quarantining for 14 days anyways.
I'm totally cool with that part, but no, yeah, I'm an American. I can't go anywhere. I'm very, very much aware.
Would you feel anything with the if it's been baked? Because if it goes in the oven at that temperature, by the time you come down, I don't think you feel anything.
Oh yeah, you do. Yeah. I know firsthand experience.
Pot maple syrup, is that a thing?
Pot maple syrup. I don't know.
Oh, I've seen that.
Have you?
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, there you go, Mark. Mark asked that in the chat. Yep, there we go. Apparently, it's a very Canadian way of doing it for sure. Put them on your pot pancakes. Whoa, there you go. You can make. I've seen a friend of mine made pot chocolate chips, like THC laced chocolate chips, and made pancakes with those before. So I guess that's the. Yeah, and Quiet Gorilla says it is. And why are you in here, Gorilla? I sent you a fucking link.
I know. And B.
And B. I sent you a link too.
I know.
But Cynthia will be joining us very shortly too. So.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah, Cynthia. Oh my God, talk about your history. Her history. Like I am trying like I never got into history. I love current events, which is weird, because like a lot of current events like pull from history. So you'd think I'd give a shit about it, but history is just like, all right, that was then. I feel like I'm missing stuff that's going on right now. Like every time I read about like things that aren't going on now, I don't know. I have problems, but no, Cynthia's a wealth of knowledge on
I know. Yeah
Holy crap.
Yeah, she makes me feel dumb when she's on here,
right? Like I know people ask questions, I'm like, Cynthia, go.
Yeah. Yeah, she's
I'm
our
sorry. Hi,
plethora
Dave.
of information.
I've been in several conversations with Cynthia, and we are yet to find something we disagree on. So I can't wait for that day.
Please be on my show. Please be on my show. Cynthia's like, LOL, hush. Good tune, by the way, hush.
I wanted to ask you, I saw in your interview, you were talking about marriage in Africa and the way that it works and all that. And I saw on a show recently a thing about a American woman who traveled to Africa and married a guy. And they were talking about how marriage licenses are taken care of, registered, handled, and recorded, and that information is shared. And apparently there's some questionable local practices with people who have been multiply married, or can you expand on that from your own experience? Because I don't want to lead you in a path on that.
Right. So you've asked a very what's the word I'm trying to find? I'm currently going through something quite similar of that sort, something to do with that. So in specifically in Nigeria, you can go there and you can be married as many times as possible. You can just, unless you've got money, you can pay to have a license. Nobody cares. And so my ex-husband, my ex-husband, I think it was 5 months after we were separated, he was married in Nigeria. And somehow he thought that because he got married in Nigeria, it didn't matter. And so it does matter, because he lives in the UK. Nobody bothered check in Nigeria that he was married already. And how do you get married? We were not even divorced when he was getting married. So I'm just telling you a little bit about what's up with me.
Yeah.
And over there, it's just a bit of money. Go to the court. Look, they don't even do no background check.
It was
None.
my impression from the show that I saw that the people that you're talking about who take the money, who are the person who would verify and certify and do all that for the marriages, quite often those are also religious figures in the community. Is that?
Yes. Because on the day that I got married in the court, we had Bible. We had someone came and he gave a sermon in the court. He gave a sermon. We had the Bible, put the hand on the Bible, and saw that Bible. And we had this proof. In fact, they gave me, I'll find the book somewhere. They gave me 2 books, and they were religious books. How to live a happily married life according to this reverend.
Happily married, godly life, right?
There's a manual.
There was 2. I was given this came as part of the fees that you paid to get married. You got these 2 books telling you how to live a happy married life by this reverend. It's all I never read it, but
Poor
maybe I should have read it, maybe. And just recently I found the book, and I thought, you know what, I'll just give this thing a read. And this man was talking about demons. So he was saying that if you strayed away from the marriage, you're letting demons into your marriage, and when the demons come in, when the demons come in, they can they can give the man or the woman the demon of lust,
I love the
the
face.
demon of lust, and you start lusting, and you start lusting after other people.
Just to clarify, the demon of lust is not a cosplay thing.
Yeah, well, it could be.
That would be an awesome cosplay thing.
Now I need to actually come up with the demon of lust cosplay. Watch me do it.
I mean, it's just way better as fantasy, as it's supposed to be, than trying to implement it into your real life.
There's another thing we both agree on.
Oh my gosh.
As a cosplay, I'm actually kind of excited about the concept.
All right. Does it also matter that I actually have this on as well?
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome.
What is that? Oh, you'll never forget your first doctor.
You never do. You never do.
Agreed.
Oh my goodness.
Did I show you
You know
my...
what? Yes, I remember. Yes.
So Mark was asking something about how does that work? Just be subservient. Yes. The woman never. The woman. Okay. So the president of Nigeria, he said the place of a woman belongs in the other room. So
what room is that? What room is that? What room is that?
The bedroom.
Oh, okay. Well, can't he be in the bedroom too? Can't his concern be in the bedroom too? I mean, shit, it take two to tango, maybe more.
Hang on. So the president, he's from the parts of Nigeria where the men are allowed to marry as many wives.
Oh, okay.
So when he says the place of the woman is in the other room, he's saying he's got many other rooms.
Oh.
So she can just be in one of those other rooms, because
waiting
of them.
Right, waiting for him. I'm assuming
because he's a Muslim.
Okay, yeah, okay.
And the Muslims believe that you can marry as many as you can
afford. Yeah, you can afford it. You can look after.
Yeah, you can afford it. And as the president, I'm sure he can look after many.
Oh yeah.
So he must have many other rooms.
Mary, here's what I say to that.
Sarah Kelly is like wasting his time here. He should be in Nigeria. They can have him.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Right.
Oh no. Who listen, in Nigeria they love foreigners. If a foreigner goes, I tell you, they
love foreigners.
Yes.
I didn't know there was a country that did that.
They love foreigners.
They love foreigners. Oh goodness.
Why?
Yeah, because if you're American, why? That's a green card.
That part.
That's a green card. That's your way
that
out.
Part. Yeah.
That's
yeah.
Do
they like Canadians?
Listen.
Everybody likes Canadians.
Everybody likes Canadians.
Everybody does like Canadians. That overtly, but covertly, we can't stand you.
Yeah, I mean, look at America. Everybody had their emotional support Canadian in the last 4 years.
That's right.
This is true. This is true. I call my aunt often. I called her often. Well, my aunt before she got sick, she lives in Canada.
Canadian. that narrows it down.
She's a Canadian. So yeah, no, I called her often. Like, yeah, can you get that bedroom ready for me? I appreciate it. Thank you.
Oh yeah, I was Tuesday. I was like finagling with Cynthia, and I'm like, does anybody have a deal with Neil? Like, I just need a closet.
Oh, like we could share the cot.
Oh man.
Oh, you know what, Esther? When you said you had a mic drop moment when you said, why are you? I'm going to paraphrase about when you guys got on the topic of LGBTQ and how people would, if they're caught, I guess like an LGBTQ relationship, that they can go get arrested. And you know, so God cares so much about, you know, what's going on in your bedroom, but you can't, you know, you can't fix poverty in your own country. You know, you can only press one button and then you can actually fix poverty in your country, but you can't, you know, but you're more concerned about that. I thought that was very telling.
Yeah.
You know, like, I know that, like, oftentimes, like, people have a tendency to be so conscious of other people's bedrooms, or even how people identify themselves. And there are so many more important things in life than, you know, who people are sleeping with, or, you know, who or how somebody wants to identify themselves, or anything of that nature. I don't and this idea is just so antiquated that we have to, you know, be so mindful of, oh, the marriage, you guys want to get married, but it's the same sex, how dare you? Or, you know, the silly things like that. I'm just like, but, you know, people are like, I don't know, starving. You think you want to fix that? Why do we care about this? You know, I don't know.
I mean, it really is a good question, because Jesus never said a damn thing, not one thing, about any member of the LGBTQ plus community. Not one. Hated rich people, devoted a lot of time to the poor. A lot of his miracles were about feeding people, and healing the unwell. But like, oh no, you know, like we can't do that. Those bastards need to work harder.
You know,
It is just so insane to me how you can be a Christian and not care about like, to be a Christian, you have to believe that, like, a follower of Christ. How are you a follower of Christ when you don't even know the words he said? Like, you don't practice the words that he said. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Right.
You know, or like the Christians that hate communists. And I'm like, all right, well, if you believe that the gospel stories are true, what Jesus's closest followers got from his teachings, like the ones that didn't make it in the book, was that you should set up a goddamn commune, because that's exactly what they did immediately following his death. But communism is evil. Socialism is evil. Jesus wouldn't want it. Yeah. I don't know. I just get so mad when I think about it. Because, you know, I said to a couple of members in the community that still identify as Christians, and I'm like, I don't have a problem with Christians per se. My issue, like, if they would just, like, you know, if you're a follower of Christ and you just practice the teachings of Christ, because, you know, they're just like nice little feel good, like, nothing different than you'd see in a self-help book, right? The Old Testament is pretty fucking evil. And it seems to be the thing that a lot of people want to, like, focus or gravitate towards. And that I have a problem with.
Yeah, and so when you look at colonization of Africa, right? Christianity was pushed, and the people were told, "Oh, the deities that you worship, the deities are rubbish. The deities are evil. You need to get rid of the things you worship, Ogun, Orisha, and what are the other, you know, all your deities." Told them to get rid of the idols, right? And they gave them Jesus Christ, right? Well, hang on a second. Jesus, the whole Christianity is its foundations are what you call it, blood sacrifice. It's a blood sacrifice, because in the Old Testament they had to sacrifice animals, right?
Mm-hmm.
I read a scripture the other day, was yesterday or the day before yesterday. Sometimes they have to sacrifice an animal every single day. And then Jesus Christ came, and thank goodness, I bet the animals were happy when Jesus Christ came on the scene. The animals were, oh, fantastic. At least now we haven't got to die just to please this, you know, this being. And then Jesus Christ comes along, does his thing, And guess what? Still the same thing. Blood sacrifice. They need someone's blood. If it's not an animal, now it's the only son of the Almighty God. And now Jesus is dead and gone. And somehow Christians have to carry on this blood sacrifice in the name of Holy Communion. They say that, well, I used to do it. I used to go and, go for Holy Communion. You go and eat the wafer, and that's the blood. Oh, I mean, I look back now and I think about it that, that was, you were supposed to be eating the flesh and drinking the blood. How is this not blood sacrifice? And it's quite hypocritical. You telling the Africans to get rid of their deities, get rid of their what they worship, and now you give them blood and flesh. Makes no sense. So the whole when Matt Vicker was telling me, think about what Jesus came to do. Don't focus too much on his ethnicity. Think about what blood sacrifice.
Yeah, I mean, it's just really hard to get out of the, because the whole thing is just like,
Sorry, Maya. I think the way I see it now, the good thing that came as a result of Jesus dying, the animals are free now. Now the animals don't have to be sacrificed. So that's a good thing.
Maybe in Africa, we do pretty horrific things to our animals in America. But no, yeah, totally. I agree with you 100%. I mean, the problem with the Bible is like, I don't know, even as a Christian, I had to walk away from the literal interpretation of it because like even, being under the thrall of, the religion, it still made no sense to me that you would like a literal interpretation of it could be taken seriously. And you just get the craziest fuckers to come out of the religion when you get the people that do.
It always puzzles me how when you speak to certain Christians, they say the interpretation of the text is blasphemy. You have to take the text as the text. And then they tell you their interpretation of the text.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you're like, well, okay, a raw reading of the text, that would mean that Jesus is too stupid to understand that a fig tree. Well, no, that's, figurative. And I'm like, wait a minute, but you just said.
Yeah. I need the book that tells you which passages in the Bible are metaphorical and which ones aren't. And I think we got to get all the Christians to agree on that first.
Good luck with that.
I think first of all, they need to agree how many books first. What they have is 66 books, and some people think it's just 66. But hang on, the Catholics have more than 66.
Yep.
Some other Christians have, I think, is it 81. There's some books some books have been taken away from the Bible. So first of all, they need to make up their minds. How many books are there?
The problem is we have zero copies of any original text. So you also have to deal with the problem that these books or versions of this biblical whatever the fuck has been reinterpreted and retranslated over 14,000 times. So now you're dealing with that alone. So how do you even know that anything you are currently reading in whatever version you're reading is even close to being what the original said? You can't know that.
Plus,
and even if it was, you don't know if you're reading it in context. Like
that's right.
Plus,
I'm told I read out of context all the time. So.
Because you're not talking to their line of thought. If you were reading it the way it's supposed to be written, your line of thought would line up with theirs.
Right.
I'm sorry, Cynthia.
Oh no, that's okay. I was fixing things. Oh, well, I was just going to say that you also have to understand concerning, the Bible, especially like when you said we don't have any original text. We have a copy of 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 a copy.
Etc.
And a translation of a translation of a translation.
Right. And then also you have to understand when you get a copy of a copy of a copy of a copy, people get tired of copying of the copy of the copy, and then they start to miss stuff.
Yep.
Like they're known for pages of the other copy missing in the biblical text that we have, paragraphs missing, and then like, especially like when you're trying to translate the text from one language to another, like you mentioned, like you miss context. So what did you really mean by that? And then you have instances where the copiers decide just to go ahead and insert things that it sounds good, so they're just going to put it in there, right? So not necessarily saying that was even inspired, God inspired. That is just their inspiration that they're actually putting in there. You're just taking it for, what God said, So that all that is problematic. I mean, like,
oh yeah,
And I remember like in the Atheist movie that recently came out, like the atheism religion, one of their odds that they had with atheists leaning towards science is that science books change, but the Bible does not. Right. And I was like, yes. Yes, that's right. They change.
Science adapts to the changes that we discover.
Precisely. I would hope that things like that would change, because like you update your knowledge when you get new information. You don't want to keep on. It's kind of like, I don't want somebody who are using surgery tactics from the 1940s to do surgery now, knowing that we have new instrumentation and also ways of actually doing surgeries more efficiently, and you less likely to, bleed to death. So I would prefer that, and I think that that's something that I would even want to do with my, with my religion. But, then they would say, oh, well, God said that he never changes. And I said, well, okay, cool. If God never changes, then the murderous, sadistic, misogynist God from the Old Testament is the same one that's in the New Testament, and the same one that actually is functioning now. Why are you worshiping him?
Yep, he's a dick. Why bother?
Exactly.
I would actually argue, for the most part, that the Christians have evolved, and the Bible, as they're interpreting it, has evolved to a great degree. If you look at, the church that I was involved with didn't allow anyone but people who identified as men or women. They didn't allow women in the clergy. They didn't allow they wouldn't do same-sex marriages. Like, they have evolved so far, and they call themselves a contemporary Christian church.
How?
They are moving in a direction. I have said to them, you guys should keep moving in this direction, because someday you'll just drop the Bible and be a good bunch of people in a good social group.
Wait a minute, Dave. You said that they were not allowing women in the clergy, or not allowing same-sex marriage?
I came from the RLDS, so they were the part of the Latter-day Saints that broke off.
Okay.
And then they became the Reorganized Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And about 20 years ago, they changed their name to the Community of Christ.
Okay.
And they actually sold the Book of Mormon back to the Mormon Church.
Good job.
Yeah. So they are, they do a lot of good within the church, but I did a charity event with them just recently, and we raised money for a children's hospital thing. Mm-hmm. It's fishermen helping kids with cancer, which is a great cause. And all of the people there who made food for all of the volunteers, it's a one-day event it's pretty epic for Vancouver. It's kind of a big thing. Mm-hmm. So all of the food was made by people from that church. And the event organizer said to me afterwards, do you really think that this could happen without the church? And I said, I think you're selling a lot of those people short. Do you think if they didn't have the church in their life, that they wouldn't be volunteering somewhere for something, that they wouldn't be helping? Are they good people in a church, or is the church making them good people? And
And I would even argue that you don't necessarily have to do those things just because the church made you good, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
You know, I mean, Neil, you volunteer to give blood. How many? Once a month or once every other month?
Every 56 days.
Okay.
The general, you can go earlier, but they always in Canada they like to be safe about it, so they make sure that you've got your blood count back to full strength again before they allow you to go in.
All right. So you're giving. So basically, you know, every 2 months you give blood, right? But and that is so necessary.
Dave joins us too now. Dave's part of the group too. So.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure I'm around 48 or 50 donations so far.
Okay. And you guys are and many more. But you all do that because you want to do that, and you want to contribute to the well-being of the community, so that people who need to have blood for whatever reason can get it, right?
Yep.
You know, I mean, like before COVID hit, my advocacy group and we would go to a homeless shelter and feed people. You know, I mean, but not all of us. There's a few of us in that group that are Christian, but I'm not. You know, and there's a few others that are not, you know, but we do it because it's just right to do, you know.
That's the best reason to do it.
And that should be the reason to do it. I mean, like, we're not doing this. We don't do charity. I don't necessarily think that anybody has to do charity because they're scared that God gonna get them if they don't, or some craziness like that. Like, it really should just be like, you just want to contribute to the well-being of your community.
And plasma and platelets you can do every couple of weeks.
I know people who do that. Yeah.
My dad used to. He used to do plasma for a while, and then they stopped doing plasma here. Then they switched over to platelets, so he did that every couple of weeks. That's how his numbers got way up there. He was like closing in on 540 donations by the time they told him he had to stop because he got cancer, right? So.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So here, where I live, I've got neighbors who have never been religious. They were never brought up in a religion at all, none at all. And they've grown up. Now they're adults and they've got no religion. But they're the nicest people. They're so nice. My neighbors are. And it just, every time I see them, it defeats the fact that you can moral. Your religion makes you moral. But these people, they're more moral than the Christians that I know. So how on earth? And then when I was married still, I was invited to a gay wedding, and my invite was for myself and my partner. Well, at the time I knew what he just. So I went with my friend because she was a work colleague. Beautiful people, honestly. These were. So I've met people who are LGBT. Well, I tell some people I'm LGBT because I'm an ally. I identify with everything. Just call me LGBT. I'm good. Just call me that because I'm in quite a few support groups. I'm in there's Queer Nigeria. It's a closed group. I'm part of that. I'm in quite a few queer groups because I'm there to support. So I call myself LGBTQI. Call me anything. I don't mind. But why are the non-religious people, the LGBT people that I know, and why are they better? They're nicer than the so-called Christians and the Muslims. How? Make that make sense. So when my friend asked me, so where do you get your morality from these days? I said, oh, secular morality. Because if
7-Eleven.
So if people who
it's right next to the Slurpees.
People who've never been religious, they're the best set of people. I tell you, my neighbor, I can leave my keys with them. I mean, so I leave them to come and just watch my son sometimes. So come on, what are we talking about? We don't need this religion. It's just, I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's difficult to say that the people within religious organizations are more or less moral than other people. I think people are people, and everyone has a spectrum of morality in their life based on their experiences and what they've been taught, their education. You know, there's a lot going on there. But I mean, if you draw that clear dividing line between religious people and other people, I don't think it helps. I think you have to say to them, like, all these people without religion are equals with you in morality, in education, in whatever. They're, you know, these people are part of your community. There's no difference between you and them other than this dusty old book that you're not reading from.
Well, no, if everybody's equal, then they can't be special. We can't have that.
Well,
I think their morality comes as a result of fear.
yeah.
Because in the back of your mind, you're constantly thinking that there's this person, there's this being who's watching you, who's watching your every move. So whatever you do, you are taught to always be thanking this person, and you know so their morality comes as a result of, gosh, there's eyes watching, there's spiritual
But I
eyes.
don't think that changes the morality. It may change their actions, but it doesn't change their inherent morality.
Because we were taught when I was growing up, they said, when you die, then there comes judgment day. So on the judgment day, there's going to be the big massive screen. Everything that you've done is going to be shown on this screen.
All right.
Yeah, everything you've done
I've heard about that.
in your life is going to be shown on this screen. So
be prepared, folks. If you're watching mine, bring popcorn.
So I at the time I used to. So if you're having sex, you tell him, and apparently this screen, everyone in the world, everyone who has ever lived in the world, everyone is going to be there watching your life on the screen.
No, they won't. They'll be covering at least one eye.
So can you imagine the whole world's watching everything that you've done? Of course, you wouldn't want. You
fuck that! I'll be up there going, yeah.
Right.
You fucking perverts.
I mean, seriously. I mean, I think a lot of people would be getting off. It's just like, wait, can that guy come back?
Yeah.
No, I mean,
what's going on now? Hey, I'm ready.
I know, right?
Wait a minute. Before you continue, what did I just walk into? All I heard was pervert and cum guy. What?
No, you're all caught up.
They're going to put everything that you've done in your life up on a big screen.
On
so it'll be like some on Judgment Day. So some giant Judgment Day porn shit going on, right? So
no, I mean it really would be, right?
Well, yeah, probably.
Like practically the entire human race.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, because you have people conflating, I guess, the Judgment Day. Really, that was believed in the Bible, or I think even perhaps by current Jews. I'm not sure, Neil. You're probably better on this, but I know there's like two views of the afterlife that I've been exposed to. And one is you die, you immediately try to go to the pearly gates where you're judged by St. Peter. And he's like, admission approved.
We have no St. Peter.
Right. No, the Jews don't. But then there's also the biblical one where, and so I know the Jews believe like you just go to sleep, like forever. And if God liked you, he can choose to raise you, and then you can stay with him forever. I don't know how that actually works out, but the Christian version of it is like everybody comes back, everybody gets judged, and you could be like, on the table for being canonized for sainthood, but like God can say, oh, but you didn't really believe. So all these great things you did that, furthered mankind and brought other people to me, I'm just going to disregard because you never classified yourself as a Christian. To hell. So, and that's kind of like more like what Esther's talking about, is this day where we all sit before the Father, and then we are all judged by everyone, really. In front of everybody. I haven't heard about the screen, but like, it's like we're presented and all of our sins are laid out before God and everybody. And
your sins are laid out in 4K.
Yeah. Oh no! What, are you kidding me? It'll be much better than that.
Oh yeah, by that time, it will be a Star Trek level. Yeah.
Holodecks, for fuck's sake.
Exactly. I know that's right.
The Life of Dave holodeck experience. Nice.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah. Life of Cynthia holodeck experience. That would be dope, actually.
Just I'll give everyone a warning right now. If they come in and watch mine, and it's all like holodeck stuff, bring some sort of rain gear because it gets messy during my 20s.
Yeah. Right up until you're 40.
Yeah. Then suddenly everything just fell apart, and yeah.
Right. My 30s were the questionable years. Those are the questionable years. And by the time I turned 40, I just got tired. Yeah. Now everything bothers me.
Oh no, with me, even at my age, the wind blows the right way. I'm like, hey, what's going on?
Like, ooh.
So I was having a conversation with someone, gentleman, who he's still Christian, and because now I'm an atheist, I think somehow he thinks he'll just open up about his position, and he told me that him and his wife would pray before they have sex. They have to pray before they do it. And what was the other thing? Yeah, they had a timetable. So there was a timetable for sex.
Why?
And so what was the other thing? So when wife is fasting, when they're fasting, sex is completely just off the table. And okay, I'm not sure. Am I allowed to say? Am I allowed to say this stuff?
You can say whatever you want.
This is an 18 plus stream.
This is new, right? I mean, like it gets very weird when it's in the evening times, but no, Neil has no holds bars. Do your thing.
He's been married, I think, 25 years, and he's never had a blowjob. His wife don't believe in blowjobs.
Oh, poor man.
She's a strong Christian. And guess what my next question?
I could never get away with that.
Guess what
What was the next question? What was it,
my
please?
next question was, have you ever cheated on your wife?
And he said,
and guess what his answer was? Guess. Have a guess.
Of course he did. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right, because somebody went out there and went,
ooh.
Wow.
So,
well, I will say this.
They have the timetable, because I think the wife believe you have to be doing some days that you have to be close to God. You have to, because when you're doing, you're not so close to God then. So, but when you're not, you have to have days that are sex free. Those are God days. The God. Terrible. It's crazy.
What's a God day? What's a God sexless day? What is that?
That's the days when you're closer to God.
How do you determine what day that is?
Right.
I don't know.
Sunday. Okay.
I don't feel like it today. It's Lord's Day.
It's right. Today I got a headache. It's the Lord's Day. That's what I'm just saying. Wow. Don't touch me.
Right.
Wow. That's interesting. You know what?
Sounds like she just hates sex.
That's what it sounds like to me too. But then again, but I remember, okay, when I was a practicing Christian, when I was like in a more evangelical, charismatic space, the pastor told me, according to the Bible, the bed is holy and undefiled when you married, so have at it. I mean, like, to be honest, like most of the, especially, exactly, that was the time to get it on. Matter of fact, that's why people was clamoring they hardest just to get married, because they want to get down with the get down.
Clamoring, I love that word.
They were
seriously.
like, especially when I had, like, back in the day, sister circles, like, all they was, I gotta get married, I need to find my husband, so I can go get, because I need to get, I got to, what I'm saying, he gonna do this and he gonna get that, and then, woo, girl, it's all like, woo, child, like, it's a party over here, like, I'm like.
Do you even have a speed limit when you speak, Cynthia?
No. It's regular to boom.
It's like a Mazda commercial. Zoom, zoom.
Right, exactly. No, because that's how they sounded. It was, to me, it was, like, I never felt comfortable in, speaking about those things, because, like, my whole thing was too, I was part of a Christian sorority, and they didn't, people was like, they was getting it on. If they felt that they was in a committed relationship, whatever the fuck that meant, that marriage didn't stop them. And then they would get sad. Yes, I know. Listen to this clamoring. And people, and then, like, I remember specifically, we were in my Christian sorority, we were having a meeting. You know how you're supposed to pray and shit before you do all that. And then, so, like, different people will go around and start to, say out loud what they were praying about. And this one sister was, like, crying because, like, her and her boyfriend had sex, and she just kept on saying, it's the same sin over and over again. Please, God, forgive me. And I was like, and I mean, but I didn't trip on it. I mean, because, like, they ended up getting married. They ended up getting married. I don't know. Like, I just feel like, like, some of that stuff that you crying over, especially when it comes to, like, if you had sex before marriage, is a waste of tears to me. Especially, this is what, as human beings, you have sex drives. Why would you not honor that? I'm just saying, like, it don't make me I don't know.
Because women are property, and we should be undefiled until, a man comes around to defile us.
Right?
They'd have a tsunami in Japan again.
Whatever, Dave. Whatever.
Well, remember that the church put that whole marriage thing together, and the blessed bedroom and all that stuff, because they wanted population, they wanted numbers, right? They wanted to have more Christians than non-Christians in the world.
Be fruitful and multiply.
Right.
I mean, the church I was going to, and a lot of the churches in Africa,
he's not wrong.
There are sex positions that Christians shouldn't take part in.
Oh, I'm definitely going to hell then.
Yeah, so there's some positions they believe, and one of them, which I think is crazy, is the woman's not allowed to be on the top, because the place of the woman is innate. So she shouldn't be on top, because if she is, then that's a sign that she's trying to dominate her husband. And no, it's a no. So if your mother-in-law,
no cowgirl, no reverse cowgirl, none of that, huh?
No, I mean, that one's actually pretty old, because I remember, was it Lilith was supposedly, like, kicked out of the garden because she tried to be on top, and like, she's too dominating. It's like, I mean, it's one thing being a mouthy bitch, but no, she just wanted to, like, have it, switch it up a little bit in the bedroom. It's like, oh no, get the fuck out of here, girl. Like,
get out of here, girl.
Seriously. And even today, there are, like, super conservative Christians that believe like the woman's place is on the bottom, and like you hear about the guys that run around talking about like beta males, and or like there's like it's like some kind of negative thing about being on the bottom, or like which one, or like with gay men, or which one of you were on the bottom. It's all talking about that, like that's more submissive. The person on the bottom is the more submissive. And because God forbid you have a healthy sex life, and
I like being on the bottom because I'm lazy, but
After the first hour, she kind of has to go on top, right?
Right? Right?
I have a bad back. That's my excuse.
Well, I mean, if you go on for an hour, I say, hey, kudos to you.
For an hour.
For an hour? Damn.
You're lucky. If I see you lying in bed already ready to go, you're lucky if I make it to you at all. Let's put it that way.
These are
Give me a minute.
Right. I got to do a few toe touches before all this happens. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. Oh my goodness. But no,
it only takes me a couple minutes. I'm actually good with the recovery part of that anyways.
Oh, okay. Well, I think that's part of like the whole hour thing. It's like the recovery portion. Hey, Randall.
Hello.
I think
it's
that's
why
how
are you people up so early?
Oh no, yeah. I bitched about that for a solid hour. So, jump right on in.
All right. Time difference. What time is it where you are at now, Esther?
What time is it?
10:30?
Yes, 10:30 p.m.
Okay.
At night.
From here.
10:30 p.m.
Okay.
10:30 at night, not in the morning, right?
Yes.
Okay, don't worry, it's
Right.
fine. I'm okay. My younger son, he's because we've got an arrangement, a custody arrangement. So he's at his dad. He's there till Wednesday. So I'm in heaven. I'm good.
Nice.
That's funny. Anytime that you can get rid of your children, you're in heaven.
Hey, Randolph, you jumped in right in the middle of the sex talk. Want to contribute?
Let me see. We just did a
I'm gonna
bunch
go
of
ask his wife if it's okay.
we did a bunch of snow shoveling today because we got snow, so I guess I'm kind of warmed up.
Yeah, we did get a bunch of snow actually. Yeah.
So did we.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got snow in Richmond?
Yeah, we got about 10 centimeters.
Well,
Dude,
it
they
was
got
gorgeous.
the worst got hit was Tawasin.
No,
Oh, they're up high on a hill, so I'm not
Yeah.
surprised. Yeah.
They're not up on a hill, it's
a
barely
little hill.
It depends which part of Tawasin you're talking about, I guess.
At least
said
to
you
live
got
there, it's
about
not
10
that big a hill.
Compared
got-
to Richmond, they're high up. We're below the water level, literally. We have a dike around the whole city.
Wow.
Randolph, I worked at the rail yard 2 nights ago, and it was cool and breezy. I mean, it was below zero, but barely. And then yesterday I worked at the car lot out on 6 Road.
Yeah.
And it was a gorgeous sunny day. I wouldn't have expected the snow out there at all. It was wonderful.
Yeah, 2 days ago here we had -8 in metric. It was -8 here, and that was really cold.
Celsius.
I'd like to say hello to the guest and appreciate you sharing your story. I didn't get to see a whole lot of it because I was out. We're about to have a blizzard here in Arkansas. That's in the USA.
In Arkansas?
They are talking about 5 to 7 inches of snow, possibly even 10, and temperatures of -16 Celsius.
Has that ever happened in the history of Arkansas?
Oh yes, it's happened before, but I was out, like I said, I was out getting ready because I may not be able to get out from where I live because of the hills and So
Wow.
I may not be able to get out. So I went out to get snacks and other stuff that we needed.
Do you think do you think most people in Arkansas are not prepared for the upcoming snow?
There'll be some that are not. We never know.
Oh, Pastor Mike, he's a player.
Our weather is a little bit weird here, but it's been really cold, and so we had an ice storm the other night, but none of it stick to most of the roads, so we could still go. bridges and overpasses and stuff like that froze over, but most of the roads stayed cleared. But I guess they were warm enough that they wouldn't freeze over. But it's cold enough now. It's been below freezing for about 4 days now.
That's right here, right now.
We need more snow, but it's looking pretty already.
Oh yeah, we're like I said, we're gonna get this big one first, and then another one is coming Wednesday and Thursday.
Yeah.
So this one's coming Sunday and Monday, and then Wednesday and Thursday we're gonna get another one, and I don't know how much that one's gonna bring. But I did want to say hi to your guest, and I have a question. I didn't get to see a lot of your story. I got to see part of it.
You got way more snow than we did.
While I was waiting for this to open, are you in any danger where you are by not being religious?
No, there's no danger here.
Is there a big?
So I'm in the United Kingdom.
Oh boy.
And if I was in Africa, no,
Right.
not gonna happen. But because I'm in the United Kingdom, and here there's the lots of the population here, they're not religious. So
Okay, I didn't know if you were still in Africa or like I said, I only got to see part of your story, and I wanted to find out if you were in any danger, because I would hate that for you. But I'm glad you are safe, and I'm not in any danger, but I'm under some kind of pressure from family. They think, but there is God. Oh, you're saying you don't believe in God? Oh, God is going to do this, and God is going to do that, and
Any day now.
Right. Right.
Yeah, any day.
Any day now.
I lost my mom last year.
Sorry about
And that's okay. My auntie said to me, "Who do you think is looking after your mom in the grave?"
Nobody.
Don't you know? No, this is what she said. She said, "God's looking after your mom in the grave." And I was thinking,
That's
hang on,
beautiful. No.
how?
That's from this morning.
My mom done. She's done her bit. She's gone, and God has time to look after her. When the people he really should be looking after, he's not looking after them. Oh, no.
No.
I don't like it when people do that. I don't like it when they try to, especially like throw your non-belief in your face by actually inserting like a relative, especially like somebody as close to you as your mom, with their bad arguments. Like I would hate for somebody to say some crap like that to me. Like, I lost my dad in 2012, and and he's buried at a veterans cemetery in Illinois, and I would hate for people like, oh well, God is watching over him now. I said, well, shit, where was God when he had cancer?
Yep.
So I'm like, no, don't do it. Don't you dare. You know what I'm saying? Like, if anything, actually, and I felt guilty about this for a very long time when my father passed. As much as it hurt that he left, I felt relieved. And the main reason why I felt relieved is because he was no longer in pain. I mean, it was like that the stage 4 cancer by the time spread to his bones, and he was constantly in pain. And the only thing that we can give him to kind of, ease the problem was morphine. So by that particular time, it was
Morphine's
just like,
awesome.
Well, I remember when I broke my ankle and I had a morphine pump. I was like, wasn't nothing wrong. Everything was fine.
Yeah.
It's like, well, Cynthia, you got a $15,000 bill. That's okay. It's fine. It's fine.
tap.
Right. I'm good. But so, and I mean, so like.
You don't have to pay for morphine here, by the way. So.
Oh, another reason why we hate you.
Fuck you, Neil.
Yeah, fuck you. Fuck you, Neil. Fuck you, all of you Canadians. Fuck you. Anyway.
Cynthia, you and I are going to have a talk.
Right, especially since I'm still clamoring for that bed, right? But
since it's winter on thin ice now, I think.
well, I mean, I ain't nowhere I'm going to Canada right now, especially with it the way that it looks like now. Traveling would be a beast. But
No,
I
there's that whole like them stopping you at the border because you're American thing. It's a bit of a bitch.
Right? Yeah. But I got the vaccine. I got shot up twice. It's cool.
It's spreading.
I got my card.
You know, looks like I'm going to have a chat with Pastor Mike too.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Pastor Mike.
Yeah, Pastor. Just so you know, Pastor, Randolph's the only one that can yell.
Yes, Esther. Yes, yes. Go ahead.
Ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of the African pastors were telling the members that the vaccine was created to kill black people.
Yeah, I remember you saying that.
Some of them said that when you get the vaccine, they put a mark. So it's a chip apparently. There's a chip and mark goes inside you. So I've got a question. Have you got the chip inside you?
You know, I kind of wish I did, because then I could probably get cable for free. But unfortunately, no, I don't.
Oh, damn.
And I'm black. And I'm not dead. So I'm thinking that whole thing about the vaccine killing black folk is probably not true.
You know, Cynthia, the problem with the free channels is that they may be CIA selected. They may not be the best choices.
Right. This is true. Well, you know, I think that, like, Neil, you remember like when I shared that article about something concerning like the vaccine, the chip, and 5G being like the same, and it was concerning. I'm trying to get all of my ducks in a row, but it was it was basically another article talking about this crazy conspiracy theory concerning the vaccine containing a chip that was activated by 5G towers, that was also correlated to a what was it? It was one of those acoustic pedals that you can put on guitars. Not acoustic, but it was kind of like
something
like a reverb pedal that you can people use in order. Something like that that you can use to like play guitar, and it like and you can like change the sound for your guitar. And so I was like, I'm sorry.
There's tons of pedals. Actually.
Well, there was like a specific one.
Fucking foot pedal board. There's like 800 fucking pedals on it.
Yeah, I've seen boards like that. When I used to sing background for other bands.
My bass player.
Oh yeah, the bass players really have one. They have like those really fantastical foot pedals to kind of like change like pitch and sounds on their guitars. Yep. Anyway, but so I shared the article saying that. So are you telling me that if I get the vaccine, that I'm gonna get a chip that's gonna make me a master shredder like Prince? I'm so for this. But that didn't happen. I still don't play like a mean guitar, and I'm very sad about that. But at least I got the vaccine, so yeah.
There you go.
And I'm not dead.
So what is the chip supposed to do? Like I keep hearing about this chip. Is it the mark of the beast?
It's a mark. That's it. It's the mark of the beast.
Like when you use your pet RFID tags.
So it just automatically knows to go to the back of your right hand or your forehead?
Yeah, but I don't. But like last time I checked my forehead, I don't have nothing written on it. I'm like, and my hands don't have anything written on it.
Yep.
Weird. I mean, maybe it's like, can we like contact our alien overlords? I mean, there's got to be something more to this.
That's something we have to do for the next atheist conference is get those temporary tattoos of the stigmata, and every time somebody drinks enough to pass out, stick those on their hands.
Yeah.
Oh God. Oh God.
I'll be right back. I gotta pee.
Okay, that's important. I think I want to do that. Maybe that's what I should do. Like get a temporary tattoo with the stigmata, just like pass out, and all of a sudden it just like show up and then just like scare the shit out of everybody. Oh my God. Thanks, Dave. I'm gonna do that now.
Give us the ideas.
Right. Like you're giving me ideas.
There's a little evil in every Dave.
I believe that.
I can't wait to get the chip now, because if it hooks to 5G, that means my phone will work better, right?
Right.
So,
I think that your phone will work better. Your Wi-Fi gonna work better. But see, that's the thing. Like my Wi-Fi is still shitty. My phone still do shitty things. There is nothing technology-wise. Matter of fact, I just got my oven fixed, knowing that I'm about to replace it in a few months. So all my technology is not working right. So goddamn this vaccine.
But see, now I'm not going to be able. Since I'm only 60, I have all these health problems that make me, very vulnerable to this. But they're saying I may not get mine until March or April.
Really?
The end of March or even into the middle of April.
Wow.
And I'm like, what the hell?
JR, where are you at? Geographically?
He's in Arkansas. So,
right.
Yeah.
Our governor was a Trump follower.
Still is.
Say
right?
no more. Say no more. We already know.
Well, I mean, the southern states are, no offense, just particularly stupid, for lack of better terms. Like, all of them have handled this horribly bad.
Yep.
This rollout thing is just gone. It's just not good. They should have done it a whole different way. But it seems like, and I'm fine with. We're not a populous state. We don't have a lot of people here. I think we're like 3.2 million, the whole state.
Yeah.
So we're not really populous, and I can see it going to the bigger states first. Mm-hmm. But you should give us a little bit, enough to keep going and not run out, I
mean, it should be proportionate to the population, I would think. We have enough to vaccinate all of our healthcare workers and high risk, but I think the people that are highest risk is it over 70 or 75?
Over 70. Seniors, especially like seniors that live in community homes.
Retirement, yeah.
They're a very high risk. But
everybody in Maryland, which is where I live, that is in a retirement community, like everyone has either had the vaccination or has signed off stating they don't want it. Like even for like our population that bedridden can't like give consent, we would call whoever their caregiver is. We had to get consent from them. These are people that like really can't leave the room, and so the staff, of course, bringing it to them is the bigger risk. But people who are on their deathbed are still getting the shot because we don't want to like complicate their issues further. And it's disheartening to hear that there are states that aren't doing everything they can to get that to their highest risk populations.
Yeah. I would definitely say that Illinois is a little bit better about getting, even though like their rollout hasn't been that great. But it's a lot better than I have seen in some other states. Mm-hmm. And they have been, and they do have like task force that have like come together to contact seniors specifically, awesome. To offer them the vaccine for free. Matter of fact, my partner was, who's older, told me that they called him and said, get the vaccine. If you want to go ahead and get the vaccine, we can make an appointment for you. And I told him, I said, go, but before you go, talk to your doctor first.
Yeah.
And the only reason why I say that is because there can be, allergic reactions that could happen with the vaccine. Anaphylaxis is very much so a real thing. And depending if you are carrying, other comorbidities, it can get exacerbated. So it's important to first, catch up with your doctor just to make sure that when it comes to you specifically and your physiology, that you should be able to tolerate it pretty well. I know I tolerate vaccines very well, so it was a no-brainer for me.
Yeah.
Well, no, but I did talk to my doctor and my
Mhm.
surgeon before I got the first shot. So
Yeah, I had my mom do the same thing. I'm like, talk to your doctor. I don't know all this because I don't really. She tells me about stuff that's like really huge for her, but like every single thing that her doctor says to her, like I don't know, you know. But the doctor actually told her to go to Walgreens because they would actually have the vaccine before like the actual doctor's office. And she lives in Peoria,
okay.
so she said that Walgreens would have it before the doctor's offices were going to get it.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, I know
Can
that
I
like
jump in?
oh, sorry.
A friend of mine who's a very good friend of mine is a healthcare worker for a private company. They don't work for the government-funded healthcare workers. They work as an option. And they haven't been vaccinated yet. They're on the A list ahead of me. We're both essential workers, but there's essential A and essential B. I'm a longshoreman, so I'm
essential B.
Yeah, and they've told me that I'm going to get originally I was going to get offered the vaccine between May and July of this year as an essential worker.
Really?
That's how far Canada is behind. So my friend is a healthcare worker for the elderly, and they're getting close to the point where they're going to get vaccinated now. And they're putting in a program where the people they are going to visit, the people whose homes they're entering, they're giving them the option of requesting a vaccinated or non-vaccinated attendant because there are people in Vancouver who think the vaccine is going to kill them. Who think it's bad. There are people in healthcare, home care, who think the vaccine is bad.
Yeah, I know someone like that.
Yeah.
No, in the U.S., only about 40% of healthcare workers have gotten it. The other 60 declined it because reasons.
Yeah,
that's not reasons. That's stupidity.
Yeah.
My friend who is a key worker, she's had the first shot, and now she's telling me she's not taking the second one.
What?
And when I asked why, she said it's the second one that kills you.
Oh.
Who's it killing?
I said, hang on. So you've had the first one, and I said you're putting yourself at risk. This and this was only just day before yesterday. She said this, but she's not due the other one until April. So fingers crossed, and I'm hoping that she takes it.
Why bother with the first one if you're not going to bother with the second one?
No, apparently it's the second one that kills you.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
The second one. I'm sorry.
What? That's kind of crazy. That's not kind of crazy. That is crazy. I mean,
okay.
No one has died from the second shot. Like no one. I don't understand that.
No, I mean like
she was telling me. Have you not seen the news? Have you not seen people die?
What news? Where is this?
News? No, I'm okay. Okay, so here's the thing. I have been keeping up with stories concerning people getting the shot, whether it be the first one or second one, whether if it's Pfizer, Moderna, just basically the ones that have been ratified by the FDA here, and some like stories that I would get from overseas who end up having the vaccine. Now you have had people report that after the second shot that they had like some reaction to it. So one, you want a reaction. It's probably a good thing that you want a reaction from the vaccine. That means that the body is starting to build up its immune system for defensive. So that's a good thing. Majority of people who had more issues with their reaction would oftentimes report flu-like symptoms like a fever, a cold, shivers, pain, kind of like achiness, headaches, very tired, things of that nature.
And another one is like the arm.
Soreness in the arm,
Okay.
yeah,
Like,
and
but
that's
like
what I.
more than when you get your flu shot. It's like very pronounced.
Yeah, and that's what
Really?
happened to. That's
I
what
heard
happened
that.
to me.
You
Yeah,
don't
like
you don't
the
go
second
limp.
shot.
You can still
No,
use
you
your arm.
right, but it's just sore. I mean, like,
Yeah.
and that happened to me. Like when I had my second shot, my arm was very sore, but it only lasted for like a day, and I got tired. I took a nap. I was fine, you know.
Right.
But
I'm
but
gonna
there
get it
also.
my left arm then.
Well, I would definitely recommend getting it in the arm that you don't use often.
Yeah, I'm a righty, so
Right, exactly.
Yeah, I found
including doing things at night to help you sleep.
right.
So anyway,
That's what we'll call it.
Yes, a relaxing agent. Like whatever you do to relax, don't put it in that arm.
Hi, Sam.
Hey
Hi,
Sam, how you
Sam.
doing? But and I have heard some reports come back from that people who were elderly and also have comorbidities had like reactions to the point where like some people did lose their life, but it wasn't. It wasn't a very big number. Like specifically, I forgot what country this was in. I want to say either Germany or Austria, where over 842,000 people were vaccinated, but only like so they had like 27 people report of like an adverse effects, and then 13 to the point where people passed away, but 13 of them were elderly people with comorbidities. But when you compare 20 something odd folk to 842,000 people who got inoculated, I mean, I would take my odds on the 842,000. And my whole thing is this is kind of where I just let it go at this. COVID-19 can mess you up way, way more than a vaccine can.
Oh, yeah.
And even if you actually got infected and actually, got through it, there are still other effects of it that can, some people were organ failure, coughing, pernicious coughs. Like there's still like, side effects from that illness that can stay with you for a very long time. I remember one report was, to the point where I think that one person was saying that they needed to get like a kidney transplant or something like that because like the COVID infection messed up their kidneys, I mean, there's all types of different organs that can happen. So, so again, oh, okay, go ahead, Stan.
My friend Aaliyah lost, I think it's like 30 or 40% of their lung capacity because of COVID, and so and like they had some like health issues in the first place, so that's kind of fucked them over in terms of that.
Right.
And I've had my first shot and I'm waiting on the second shot, which I'm getting in April.
Good for you.
Awesome.
So I am like glad that I'm able to get it because I'm asthmatic.
Yeah.
And my I've in an effort to make sure that no one has any particularly adverse effects to it, we actually get given like a list of the active ingredients in the vaccine before we take it and told to check with our doctor if we're not sure.
Yep. Here as well. And you can pull those that information from Pfizer's site, from Moderna's site. I mean, like, and you can take it to your doctor and be like, hey, is there anything else in here that can mess with me specifically because of my physiology? And they can tell you,
and your doctor will know. Your doctor would know.
Yeah, they would know. Yeah. I mean, I'm a healthcare worker, but I'm on the social side. I'm a medical case manager, and I don't know how many trainings and lectures that I had to attend just on COVID-19, and so like I know, so I've been like bombarded with information, and so I can imagine with just me, and I'm not treating anybody medically, how it would be for like a doctor. I would think that they would have to get way more information, or constantly be catching up with this information more so than I would be, and so again, I mean, like, anytime that you get like any medical treatment, it's best to be informed as much as possible. So you should ask questions, you should read material, things of that nature. But I think that what a lot of people are not doing in this case is just running with conspiracy theories where most of them are not true. The majority of them are not true, and scaring people unnecessarily when it comes to taking the vaccine, knowing that if you get COVID, it could be a lot worse. Like, the mention of the scarring on scar tissue on your lungs. COVID.
I already have some from a lung infection anyway, so.
Okay, especially like if you say, for instance, if you had pneumonia in the past, which I've had pneumonia a couple of times, so I was like, I don't want to get COVID,
Right?
Because I have no idea how that would affect me, and especially having issues in the past, and I have I deal with hypertension now, so Neil.
I'm sorry, what?
Neil,
what? I keep inside head voice. Inside head.
Neil, you know what? Neil, you just so lucky you in a whole nother country. That's all I got to say.
I was just thinking.
I know that.
Along those lines. Yeah.
I can't wait for the day we actually meet Cynthia. I'm going to get punched in the face first and then hugged.
In that order.
You need a referee?
My doctor did tell me as soon as they're available that she's got me first, in the first of the list.
Nice.
So she's great, and I can understand. I mean, the first wave went to the people, the older people in nursing homes. And then and the healthcare workers. But now the second wave that we're going into now, they're going to do the supermarket workers, the distribution people, right?
Yeah,
the people that are bringing the food to the restaurant. I mean, the grocery stores. And they're going to do meat packing, the people that are processing the meat.
Yeah.
I'm like, what am I gonna get? And they're like,
I can see that too. Wasn't there news reports of people that was in meat packing plants that was dying from COVID, getting infected and dying? I know that happened.
I've
heard of
Tyson.
I've heard of
Tyson, which is an Arkansas company, and they have a lot of plants here. They had to shut down 10 of their beef production plants because they didn't have enough people to run them because everybody was sick. So I can understand, that we've got to keep this stuff coming, but surely they could slip a little bit to us people that are really vulnerable to this thing.
Well, the thought behind it. I'm sorry, real quick. The thought behind it is if you're properly social distancing, you can just stay in the house, and while we kind of make sure that everybody who is getting the things that you need to survive in the house is okay. And then so once we get them, essentially you've just been in the house. And I understand that's very difficult for a lot of people for, especially a lot of mental health reasons. Again, we're pack animals, but it's not impossible. So we're people like you are just kind of being shelved until But I mean, that's it's right or wrong. That's just the thought process behind it.
I do understand it, but I do prefer the.
I understand.
I do prefer that
you need to keep everything running, but I am so glad now. Before, earlier in this, it was you could see half people not wearing masks, and half people were. Well, now you don't. Many not wearing a mask.
Oh, thank God.
That's good.
I mean, thank God, but I'm very happy to hear that.
All right, that was right.
So I'm glad for that, and
yes.
So, more people.
I mean, I'm really happy to see the turnaround.
If I go to the store and somebody gets up, I'm like, would you mind backing off a little bit?
One concern I have is I was just at the grocery store yesterday, and my wife and I saw 3 people not wearing their masks properly. 2 of them were customers, one's an employee. So I did let the cashier know, and then he called his supervisor about it. And then the next aisle, one of those customers had their nose exposed. They're covering their mouth but exposing their nose. Was there, and that cashier asked him to put his mask on properly, and then he said something about health exemptions, and so she stepped away and she called her supervisor, and so this supervisor is going to be pretty busy that day. We left before it turned into a big scene, but this is serious because these people can spread it around. It's almost as bad as not wearing the mask, because this is an airborne.
If you're not covering your nose, you might as well not be wearing one.
Right, seriously.
Yeah. It's really, really bad. People need to take it seriously.
Right.
I don't want to catch this thing. I don't have the vaccine yet because I'm not in any special group. I'm just in the normal queue like most people. So I have to wait my turn. So in the meantime, I would very much appreciate it if people would be careful. Most people here, it hasn't been a problem. It's just this month it seems to be starting to be an issue. Yeah. I really hope it's not because of the anti-maskers coming here and influencing people. It's just there are some anti-mask groups here in Canada. It's horrible.
Well, yeah, I mean,
I was going through a store, and there was a lady walking in front of me. She had a mask on, but it was on her elbow. She had slipped it over her arm, and it was over her elbow. And her face is exposed. And I'm like, that mask is doing me a whole lot of good. But she had a mask on.
Over her elbow?
Yeah,
I won't even get close to these people because I see a lot of people get close to them and tell them to wear the mask. No, you got to do that from a big distance.
Yeah,
yell at them to do it. These people going up close, they're voluntarily putting themselves in danger of catching this thing if those people happen to be carrying it.
Yep.
Right. Exactly.
No, we almost every store that I walk into has like security guards, like armed security guards anymore, because like they just stop playing with people. They do take it really serious here. People cuss you out if you're not wearing your mask properly, and like a Walmart or a Target. And they'll escort you out if you like walk in and then take it off. Like they'll actually escort you out, but they've had to beef up security because you do get these like people who are listening to either anti-maskers or listening to the former president, and it's Trump wouldn't lie to me, and they get violently mad. It's insane.
There's a lot of stores out here who have greeters at the door, and they're instructed to tell people masks are mandatory. Mm-hmm. And if they say, I have a health issue or a condition whereby I can't wear a mask, they say, you can shop online. We have alternative options. You can pick up your stuff at the door. We'll deliver it to your house. There's other ways for you to shop, but you can't come into the store.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah, the Walmarts are here, the ones that I've been to, are really good at telling people to put a mask on. You see young kids walking around with no mask on, but they're kind of, the little ones, you can tell,
Yeah, I mean, it's hard. It's hard to keep it on kids. I don't see a lot of little kids out anymore.
My son, he's autistic, and there's no way the mask, and he just something about the mask. He can't do it. He wouldn't do it for anyone. He doesn't care. You can't, and unfortunately, his test came back positive for the virus, but he was asymptomatic. There was no symptoms at all, nothing. So I think we're just lucky with that, and it's trying to keep him at home as much as possible. He's not going anywhere anytime soon.
Esther, I have a friend who was in the hospital when that whole floor of the hospital had an outbreak of COVID, and they were in the hospital with a serious condition, and they were completely
going for the cute points.
They were completely asymptomatic, and they were lucky that they were, but they had this belief when they left the hospital that they were, now they had the antibodies in their system and they couldn't catch COVID again, and there wasn't another strain that could get them.
Right.
Now they're wearing a mask everywhere. They're not letting anyone in their house. They're disinfecting everything. They're going full tilt on it now because it in their condition, in their situation, it would take them out. Like that's a really, but so lucky to be asymptomatic the first time around. Like,
yeah,
when it breaks out in a hospital, that's a really bad thing.
yeah,
I bet.
yeah.
Yeah, I needed a treatment for one of the problems that I have, and the only place I could get was the hospital. And my doctor said, no, you don't need to be anywhere near a hospital. So he had to actually give me a different kind of medication to take care of the problem, and thankfully it did. So I get to bug Neil for a little longer.
Hey, that's my job.
I think that's all of our jobs.
Yep.
You're way better at it than I am.
Well, I'm gonna have to let you guys know right now. You're gonna have to beef up on your skills because you don't bug me.
Damn. I've been trying so hard.
No, but kind of to Esther's original point, for the second shot, I don't know anybody who has had no response to it. But again, like Cynthia was saying, that's good. It means that your body is recognizing the antibodies and your system is producing a response. And that's the reason for the second shot. It's like people are like, well, if I've had COVID, why do I have to have the shot? And it's like, well, within like being exposed to it, you may or may not get enough antibodies produced to be able to get an immunity. We do see, and I've seen, just being like the HR administrator, I've had to put people out for COVID more than once, like my workers. So there's no reason to believe that having COVID gives you an immunity to the virus. So what's supposed to happen is having the double dose so close together, your body is like, oh, this is serious. And tell me if I'm saying this wrong, because I haven't been to any of the things. I'm just like regurgitating information from nurses like you who have been to all the trainings. Because I asked the same thing. I'm like, why are you going to shoot me twice? But with the second one, your body definitely is like, oh, this is serious. I got a flu-like symptoms. It was 2 days after I got the shot. I got the body chills. Very, very sluggish. I lived through it and I feel great. And that really overall has been what I've heard. Most people, I just let them know, like, you may want to take the next day off just so you can sleep, because what I hear more than anything else is, the sluggishness. Like, you don't want to.
I know that Sunday, I was lucky enough that I had the second shot on a Saturday morning. And I know that the next day I felt like I just didn't want to leave my bed. Like, I felt like I had to like bury myself under the bed kind of, and I still had the stiffness and soreness in my arm. So I was like, oh, okay, the vaccine, I think you're doing your thing. So cool. I'm going to bed. And I stayed there. And so everyone do that. Okay? Yeah.
If you get the second shot, take the next day off. That's my advice to everyone. Sleep it off. You will wake up.
Yeah, 9 times out of 10 you will make up. I had a coworker that actually told me that they felt that way after the first shot. Really? A couple days later. Yeah, they because like matter of fact, because we ran into each other on the day that we were both getting our shots. I had mine already, and he was up on the way to get his second one. And then he asked me, "Did you get sick?" I was like, "Nah." Did you? And he's like, "Oh my goodness, yes, I got." It was flu-like symptoms, and I was just like, "Oh." He said, I had to take 3 days off. I said, "You did?" And he's like, "Yeah." And I told him, I said, "Well, yeah, that could happen." And he said, "You knew that?" I was like, "Yeah. Don't you go to the trainings?" They send them all the time. And then he was like, "They didn't tell." He said they need to tell people that. And I said, "Well, or he
may have had two things."
Yeah,
I had it happened after the flu shot once. But
he could have.
Since and not a problem.
Yeah, very, very, very common after flu shots.
That really bothered me. And Neil, I wanted to ask you a question. I seen you saved a spider when you were deconstructing your building. Did it move back into the building, or
No, probably.
Because I thought it was, you were like carrying the spider on the end of the web out somewhere.
Yep.
So.
Spiders are important. They're a huge
they
part
are,
of our ecosystem.
you know.
So.
But I did get bit by a brown recluse, and I do not like the spiders anymore.
Did you face the necrosis, skin necrosis stuff? Did you have to deal with that?
It made me have to have surgery. I was running 105 feet when I got to the ER.
Oh, yeah, they can do that.
They packed me in a bathtub to get my temperature down.
They can do that.
And the surgeon actually did surgery on me Christmas morning. He walked in and he said,
recluses are dangerous.
He walked in and said, "Well, are you ready?" And I said, "Yes." And I guess so. And he said, "Well, Christmas, let's go." They rolled. Yeah, Christmas morning.
That's not a brown recluse.
No, that's a great northern spider. A great Pacific spider.
No. That's not a recluse. And they're very small spiders. But they got a venom that is terrible.
Yep. And it depends on how much you get, too. Most of the time, brown recluses will just peg you. And you don't get a lot of it, so you may not even get the skin necrosis, but you will start to feel kind of ill. But if they get you good, then you're in trouble.
This was in my behind. On the
brown recluse.
And it was in one cheek on my behind, and it got into that fatty tissue in your.
Oh yeah, that's a problem.
And it spread, really good through there. So, and it made me sick.
Really good.
I mean,
you can tell.
They cut a 3-inch triangle-shaped hole.
Yeah.
2.5 deep.
Yeah. They have to.
So, I hate spiders because one put me in a hospital for a week.
Oh God.
Yeah, I got.
You know what it was?
It was like a one that was like this big, and it was black mostly with a couple of orange spots on it. It got me in my leg, and then I ended up getting cellulitis, and I had to be on. They put me on a what do you call those things? They stick you the thing that hangs with the bag. The
IV.
Yeah, they gave me an IV. Thank you. Of a.
I do my coffee these days.
Right? That's how I should just go ahead, just shoot it in my IV vein, just right in my vein. With
my Timmy's IV, so you just pull up the plug and
exactly, just like drip, drip, drip. With the antibiotics, I was on for almost a whole week, and then I had to be off of work for a month.
That could have been a black widow.
It could have been a what?
Could have been a black widow. Deadly as people think they are, but they are deadly.
No,
right. I don't think it was a black widow. I don't know what. I never looked up the spider, but there was a bunch of them on my porch during one summer.
What they look like?
They were mostly black with orange spots.
Were they shiny?
Wait, I think I have that one.
Okay.
Mostly black with orange spots. Now, were they quite? Did they have a reflection? Like, were they shiny or were they dull?
They were kind of dull.
Okay.
Yeah.
Probably a garden spider.
I'm sorry?
Shiny.
Probably a garden spider then.
Garden spider can knock you on your ass for a week.
Well, it did that to me, and that's every time I see a spider, I start to kind of freak out a little bit, or I immediately kill it. Like I'm looking. Yeah, I'm ready. I was like, oh, die!
The one you're showing right now, Dave, is actually a member of the widow family.
I think it's a black hobo.
No. Hobo spiders are different.
Are they? Okay.
Yeah.
I know an environmental activist named Pete Bethune. He used to be part of the Whale Wars TV program. Mm-hmm. And he was the guy who got run over by the Japanese fleet shipping, the fishing ship. So anyway, recently he was out in Costa Rica in the forest doing anti-poaching, and he got bit on the back of his leg by a fer-de-lance viper. It's the third most venomous, deadly snake on Earth. He was in the hospital for, I think, 15 days, but he's okay now. He's back on the ship and back in action, but very lucky.
Look like that, Cynthia? Is that the one?
No.
Okay.
No. The orange spots were kind of like on their legs.
These guys are going to find this damn spider.
Right? They really are.
See, and then there's me sat here not having seen a venomous spider or snake since I was maybe 6 months old.
We have lots of funnel webs out here. We have a version of the black widow spider and hobo spiders and something else. But I don't think any of them are deadly to humans. They're just annoying.
No.
Yeah.
Black widows can be if they hit you with the recluse, which by the way, the hobo spider is often mistaken for a brown recluse. But most of the spiders in our area, unless you're hit with a lot of venom, will really only make you a little bit sick. You might feel fevery, you might feel headache, you might feel nauseous, and it can even do the necrosis part of the skin where the bite occurs, and that can actually happen with more than just a brown recluse. Hobo spiders can do that too. But for the most part, spiders around here are fairly harmless if you're a healthy adult. Black widows or brown widows as well, which we have lots of here. They also have a potent venom as well, and they've been known to kill small animals on occasion. And infants are highly susceptible.
I like the kitty better, Dave. Just saying.
Yeah, that's my lawyer.
Now, after what she said about the women not being able to be on top, I'm going to hell too. Yeah, so you might have to get out of the way, Dave.
Oh, we're going back to Maya's favorite topic now.
Hilarious.
So is that the
We're
one?
all going to have good company in hell. It's where all the best people are going.
Oh,
I know. Hell sounds way more fun. I'm just trying to say.
I'm just saying.
Cynthia, is that the one? Orange legs, black spider.
That's a big spider.
A cute spider?
Maybe.
Something similar.
Something kind of similar.
Prominent in North America. So,
how many eyes did it
I
have?
get these black and yellow gardener spiders. They're like a great big thing. They're probably
that would be an orb weaver.
Yeah.
Orb
Like
weaver.
It's golden orb weaver.
this long, the body of them, and they're on my porch, and they make a web.
Oh yeah.
And they are poisonous, but they're not.
Yeah,
deadly.
not lethal.
I love them on my porch because they catch all of. But
Yeah.
one of them actually built the web next to my light, and she was fat. Now I'm telling you, she ate good. And bugs flying around that light and going into her web. Yeah, see.
Google Eats message here says, Miss McDonald, your box of spiders has shipped. You may also be interested in old shoe for smacking.
Now I'm trying to find it. I'm trying to find it. I think I found what it kind of looks like. I think I did.
Both of the pictures of spiders that I showed were ones that I had to kick out of my house. I was like, wow, this thing's huge. I got to get it out of here.
Yeah, I don't have good spider perception. They all look as big as my head, and they're carrying machetes, and I'm like, must die.
I always take them outside and put them in a plant that doesn't have other spiders so they have a chance to survive.
Yep.
Oh no, I don't want them to survive. I think they need to go. They need to die.
They need to go. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're not carrying around little $100 bills for rent, you got to get out.
I got these spiders in the house that
I will.
cobwebs that you see here. I'm always sweeping.
I will leave any spiders that are in my room, but if there's any spiders in the kids' rooms, I invariably have to.
You can't hardly see these things. They can be right there in front of you. You don't hardly see it. They're all legs, and you have very little body. But they sure make a lot of webs.
Yeah, they do.
A few years ago, I found spider egg sacs in my house. So I took them outside and I put them on my blueberry bushes. I have 8 blueberry bushes in my yard. And within a couple of weeks, they were covered with baby spiders and spider webs all over. We had the best yield of blueberries that year.
Yeah.
I'm sharing my screen. I think I found the picture of what it looked like. If you want to put it up.
I think those spiders ate all the little bugs that were around. Hey, look at that one's dancing on the right.
Yeah, that's what it kind of looked like.
Ready to do the
presentation. Dance with a fire.
Well, it wasn't dance. Yeah, it was dancing. It was dancing when it made me sick, bastard.
Really? This guy made you sick?
Well, I mean, that's what was on my porch, Neil. It was a bunch of them.
These guys are not very venomous, so I don't know how the hell
they bit me on my leg. My leg got infected. It turned red, and next thing you know, I'm like, I had a fever. I was feeling horrible, and I didn't know what to do. So they was like, yeah, you need to go to the hospital, especially like when my legs swelled up and it got painful and all this other stuff. And then it's like, oh yeah, you have an infection.
I wonder if you've got an allergy to that type of venom, maybe.
Probably. I have allergy.
That would make more sense.
Yeah, I probably did. And please, you look at me wrong and I get sick, like, oh my God, I'm dying. So yeah.
I'm definitely allergic to wasp stings and certain spiders. I get the big, like 2-inch wide welts on me from them there.
Oh my God.
Well, spiders have different kinds of venoms, so that's not surprising, right?
Well, I guess I'm right here.
I don't know that movie.
And I swole both eyes shut for a week.
Jeez.
When I was about 9 years old, I was out fishing on the grandpa. And he said, look at that bee tree. And I looked over, and that one hit me right there. And, I was like,
I think the only bugs.
But a week, I couldn't see anything for a week. I had to stay home.
What'd you say? Oh, sorry. What'd you say there, Sam?
I think the only bugs I've been bitten by are head lice, midges, and bed bugs.
Oh.
Careful with bed bugs. They can be nasty.
Yeah.
They were the nastiest buggers, and we had to get this weird spray to completely disinfect all of the wood in my bed because I had a wooden framed bed.
We had bed bugs before. We had to purchase like this powder and like some spray, and then like wrap up all the pillows and yeah, it was a mess.
Yeah, we also basically had to quarantine everything in my room for like 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, something like that.
Yeah,
unpleasant.
Yeah, that was
One
the
thing
worst.
I haven't had that, but I had a friend that had bed bugs, and it was terrible what she had to go through to get rid of them.
They're really hard to get rid of.
How do you know if you've got bed bugs? How do you?
They're hard to miss.
Yeah, they're kind of hard. Yeah, when you got them, you'll know.
You get them to bite. They do bite.
Yeah, they do bite because they're blood suckers. They're blood suckers.
Yeah, they're blood
suckers. They also have detector dogs now that are trained to sniff them out. They go around and tell you if you have bed bugs.
Oh, okay. Well, my dog don't detect a damn thing.
Probably detect when you're about to feed them.
Yeah. She detects that, and when she got to go outside, she get to talking, but that's about it. And she'll bark when somebody's at the door, but it's mostly barking at you to go get the door.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Human, answer the fucking door.
Exactly. That's basically my dog.
I tell you what, it's so cold here in Arkansas. It don't take my dog long to do his business. He's back in the house because he's back in. He's scratching on the door and barking, let me back in.
Runs out there, starts and pees his way back, right?
That's my dog too. Well, I know my nieces mostly take her out, but yeah, she out there getting her business done, lickety split. Like I ain't messing around with this winter in Chicago. I don't think so.
Oh, gosh, I do not miss winters in Chicago.
You should not. No one ever should miss winters in Chicago. I wish I was missing a winter in Chicago right now.
Right? Are they good? Are they good? Are they good?
Are they? Oh, are they? Well, it depends. I like to look at snow. So if I am looking at snow from my living room window, it's fine. But being out in the snow let alone driving in it, is horrendous. And no matter how prepared Chicago is for the snow, they're never prepared. So, matter of fact, the oven guy who was just here was like, exactly that's the cat that I live with too. She will wake me up to feed her ass. But the oven guy was just telling me that he got stuck in the snow 3 times before he even got to my house. I'm like, oh my gosh.
You talk about Chicago in the wintertime. In January of 2000, we got 18 inches of snow in one day. They closed the state. They just said, forget it, and just closed everything down. They just closed the state. Walmart closed at 4:30 in the afternoon. I was like, what?
Hell, son, we get that in Canada in the summertime.
We keep telling the Americans that to keep them off our border.
Funniest fucking thing ever.
Had 6 snow trucks to get, 6. That's all they had was 6 trucks with plows on it to clean the whole city. And
funniest thing ever I've seen here is a friend of mine works at the borders over in Blaine, Washington, and Canada, where we cross over there. And he said he saw some guys come up from Florida. They drove all the way up to Canada with their snowboards strapped to the roof of their car in August. Because they literally thought that as soon as they crossed the border, it'd be snow. They come up and go, yeah, where's the best hills to go snowboarding on? The guy at the border, my friend, his name's Chris, at the border is like, snowboarding? You realize it's August, right?
Right.
Yeah, but we heard Whistler's got great hills. He goes, yeah, in the winter. It's August, you idiot.
This is reminding me of a
snowboarding? And then he's like, not right now, there's no snowboarding. Why don't you come back in, late November?
This reminds me of a South Park episode where they're crossing state lines, and the whole environment changes as soon as they cross that arbitrary border.
See, that sort of
episode, I think. Yeah.
Oh wait, was that into Canada when they were?
That was from Colorado to somewhere. It just snowed and no snow right at the border.
Yeah, so they're showing the nice environment in Colorado, and then the next state it's all desert-like, and it's just the arbitrary borderline. The whole environment goes along with it. It's just hilarious.
Yeah.
That was the Charlie Manson episode. I think.
Sorry, like the South Park creators seem to really hate Canada, so it sounded like
No, actually, they get most of the stuff right. They're totally wrong about Saddam Hussein ever being here, but the rest of the stuff they get right.
Square tires, come on.
No, Neil doesn't get out enough. He hasn't seen the square tires. I'll have to show that to you one day, Neil. Yeah.
Don't feed them.
No, you don't feed square tires. No.
Right. Well, when I saw the square tires in the wild, I decided that maybe I should.
Square tires in the wild.
You know what's really nice about those square tires is that they stack really easily on the shelves.
I bet.
I bet. Way less expensive
better than the snow, though.
And people say God can't create
I don't know that I
circles.
want to know what you're on about.
And people say God can't create square circles. And you got come to Canada, you see square tires. There's your answer.
That means that you guys are better than God. That's all that means.
Besides, in wintertime, we don't drive. We just get our dog slides out.
I believe that.
I seen that one town in Alaska where there were people on snowmobiles. Everybody was on snowmobiles at McDonald's to drive through. They're on their snowmobile.
Wow.
Yeah.
That would be neat to see, actually.
Yeah.
That really would.
I got a really fucking excited phone call the other day off one of my partners because they saw snow for the first time. Because they live in Texas.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And so they saw snow for the first time and they got really excited and started calling me because I've been showing them pictures of snow where I was literally the day before.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, how nice.
Yeah.
That must have been a neat experience for them.
Sam, where are you actually?
Manchester-ish, UK.
Okay.
England.
Yeah, Sam has definitely seen snow.
Yeah, you've seen snow.
Yeah, the most frustrating thing is that I live on top of a hill and I went to high school 10 miles away by public transport, meaning that if
I
it
went
snowed,
uphill, downhill, with no shoes in the winter. It's not that old guy thing, are you?
see, the thing
Sam's
is
not
that
that
because of those circumstances, it meant that if there was like half an inch of snow, I couldn't get to school because the buses wouldn't go up the hill in half an inch of snow.
Oh wow. Are they real drive? Is that the reason why?
Mm-hmm.
The cars around here are not built to deal with snow. My mum has been snowed in by 2 inches of snow before.
Don't they? I guess they don't have winter tires there.
No, they don't have square tires. That's what's problem.
No, and my stepdad specifically bought a 4x4 for that reason because he's a paramedic, so he kind of had to get to work no matter what.
Right.
They've also got D20 tires. You know, they have 20 sides.
2 inches of snow.
2
Like in
inches. Wow.
Yeah, like in Illinois, they just laugh at you if you were like, I can't.
Yeah.
You know, it snowed 2 inches. Like I can't possibly get to work. Like you're so fired.
Yeah, exactly. That's
but in Maryland, like if like everything shuts down if there's a report of flurries, it's so crazy to me out here.
Wow. I
Like
know.
we had, I don't know if you remember, like back in 2008 or 2009, they were talking about snowmageddon. And I have my parents and my family all calling out here, like, "Oh my God, what's it like?" I'm like, "Guys, calm down. It's fine. They've never seen snow before. Apparently, it's just a normal Illinois winter."
Right, exactly. I'm basically like any person that complains about 2 inches of snow and you live in Illinois, specifically in Chicago, we call all y'all bitches.
Yeah, like, I was. Everyone I met.
Right.
It's
All
just so
y'all
ridiculous
bitches.
because like you would see them, they would put like salt down, you know, like after. Like they only have like so much salt, and I'm like, you used all your salt the first snowfall. Like, why are you doing that?
Why would you do that? Why would you?
I'm sure.
You know,
it
and
worked
they would start to put it down like before it snowed, and I'm like, no, you put it down as it snows because like you don't know when it snows, and so the cars are going to come, they're going to crush not the salt, and then you're not going to have any salt on the street by the time it actually snows. Put the snow on the.
Actually, we do liquid salt here.
Hard.
Well, we
pour salt
wait.
on the roads in liquid form now.
Oh yeah,
It works really well.
It's they're still like hard rocks salt. In Chicago, it's not liquidy.
Here too.
They I know that like usually what we end up doing, only because like if you shovel while it's snowing, it's gonna get overkilled anyway. So it's usually best just to wait until it's done and then you shovel. Even though but like you guys,
why wouldn't you do that?
Yeah, but because that's too much like right, but but for people who are older, like you got to be careful because like if the snow is too heavy and especially if you have like heart condition, you may not necessarily want to shovel. You may want to find a neighborhood kid to do it for you. But ain't no neighborhood kids out like when I was younger with the shovels. I'm like,
really?
No,
so I have a 19-year-old and a 40-year-old here, and I'm just like, I need to get out. Which one of you are getting up? But if you let it go for too long, the kids are out knocking on the door. Like, I can get this for you. Right, I'm waiting. They love making money.
These kids, but I don't understand what happened to the kids. I guess they grew up and moved away because they're not around there. They're not about that life. But I am lucky that we do have a block club, and the block club did purchase a snowblower. So they've been, so they were nice enough to like make sure to get the whole sidewalk and stuff, and then kind of go up to the walkway, and then we usually take care of the rest. But we still got the side of the house towards the garbage. But I must complain about the garbage people because they don't know how to put the garbage can back to where they found it in the first goddamn place. My garbage is all over the fucking place. I'm so upset that it's laying down. It was in the snow. It was turned over. I'm like, what the fuck is you doing?
They throw it from the back of the truck.
They do. They do. And I'm just like, put the motherfucker back. What did it do to you? I mean, shit.
Somebody's gonna clip that. You know that, right?
I know. It's really okay. Do this too. My gear.
We never let you talk. Like, what was it like the first time you saw snow? Esther.
Are you me?
Yes.
Oh, so let's see. Okay, I've been in the UK nearly 20 years. I think it was my first year when I came to the UK, because in Africa,
Right.
there's no, it can be really cold, but I don't think there's any countries where there's snow. I think so. My first time would be about 18 years ago.
What
And
did you
what was
think
your
of that?
reaction?
About when I was born, then.
It was beautiful. Oh goodness! You
And
can't say when you was
Sam's a
born.
dick. Don't mind.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, I'm 18, so
No, you're not.
yeah.
No.
You're not 18. You don't know your age. Whatever.
I mean, in fairness, I will be 19 in a few months, but you know.
But now, I grew up in Kansas City, Missouri, till I was 11 years old, and we had snow every winter. And I only remember my dad staying home from work one time, and that's because we had 8 inches of snow one day. He went to work. Then we had 2 inches of ice on top of that 8 inches of snow, and nobody went anywhere. Dad was like, "There's no way," he couldn't even move.
You can't. I mean, because you can learn to drive on snow. You can't learn to drive on ice. It's just dangerous for all involved. It's shut everything down until you can get that under control.
The way to drive on ice is to have studded winter tires.
Yep.
The ones with the crushed walnuts work really good.
Or tank track.
Yeah.
Thanks, Canada.
Yeah.
My wheel drive is better, so
years ago, my girlfriend had a 72 Chevy Nova, automatic rear wheel drive, big tank of a car, and I took her out to. We have a big food chain store thing here called Save On Foods, so I took her out to the Save On Foods parking lot. There's 5 or 6 inches of snow, and taught her how to drift the car, slide sideways, how to spin it around 360 degrees. So a cop drives by and sees us, and he's like, "What are you guys doing out here?" "I'm teaching my girlfriend how to drive in the snow." He's like, "Oh, watch out for the big poles at the end of the parking lot." And he drove away.
I was upset when I realized that.
My mom and dad. I learned a lot watching mom and dad drive, so I've really not had a whole lot of problems driving on snow. But you pick that up even though you're a kid. You're watching what they do, and.
I think the best car that I had that did the best in the snow is when I used to drive for Uber, and I had a 2017 Toyota Corolla.
Yeah.
And that was the best car that I ever had. It was like it was like a beast in the winter. And I also have a 05 Explorer that sucks. And I found out because it's a basic model that was a rear-wheel drive car, but I didn't know that when I bought it. I was upset.
I have a 4-wheel drive Escape with 4 snow tires on it, and I love it when it snows out here.
I wanted to buy a Camaro, but I
don't have square snow tires. Sorry.
Yeah, that needs some time. I wanted to get, but it's real. Even though it's pretty and it's rear-wheel drive, and I like it going. This is not the area to have a car like that. It would be a fine second car, but not the first car, because I wouldn't be able to go nowhere. Literally.
Yeah, I learned to drive in the snow, and when I learned, the snow was, I guess, about 3 feet deep at least. Yeah, so I learned a lot, and driving in the summertime was easy compared to that.
Yeah.
Oh man,
I bet.
I just go to the mall parking lots and we have snow,
okay.
And you just do fucking burnouts all over the place in the snow.
Oh, that is fun.
So I was just looking in the chat, and it's Hellbound Hilly Billy's birthday today.
Yep.
Oh,
happy birthday!
Happy birthday! Best of friends.
Happy birthday to you, Hellbound. Happy birthday to you, Hellbound. Happy birthday, dear Hellbound. Happy birthday to you.
Okay, so when you're done,
That's quite a mess.
when you're done singing, It's my birthday on Valentine's Day. So
Yes,
yeah.
right.
So
Okay, we got to sing again.
Yes, again. On the one and
Happy
the two. Yeah, you
Wait.
know what to do.
Okay, go on.
Happy birthday to you, Esther. Happy birthday
This is
to
worse.
you, African Humanist. Happy birthday, dear Humanist. Happy birthday and many more.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yay!
I would sing, but I don't want to scare off the entire chat.
I was going to say I normally refuse to sing, but I will make an exception this time.
Very good.
There you
Don't
go.
worry, Maya.
Actually, my
The audience
twin
is tougher than you
nieces-
think.
My twin nieces, their birthday is today too, and I did a rendition
Wow.
to them earlier today. They just looked at me like, "Wow, did you just make up a whole happy birthday song on your own on the spot?" I said, "Yes, I did. You're welcome."
It's funny because my roommate and her family have this tradition where when it's their birthdays, they call each other and they sing happy birthday. A bunch of them will get together, sing happy birthday, all out of tune.
Nice.
So they all do, and
Nice.
it's funny to hear.
I rarely hear Happy Birthday sung in tune.
No, I mean,
Yeah.
like, I mean, when you're serious and you want to choreograph it.
Choreograph.
No, choral. Like when you choirize it, like you can do that and it'll sound beautiful.
Choir
when you have-
team.
Yeah, when you get a whole choir team people together to do happy birthday and
That's
in
still choreography.
harmony and yes, well, choreography with the voice. How about that? So you know that's great, and you know, for people do it, that's wonderful. But I always prefer an out of tune happy birthday. That means you care.
Apparently,
Oh, really?
apparently, Ian is unaware that I'm actually the singer of a band.
Yeah, like
See, my
man, like that. The
my
intro
favorite is
Neil.
when you're in like a restaurant or something, and a table.
We
Oh,
lost you, Sam.
Well,
Oh.
Miss Sam, come back.
God damn it! Am I back now?
yeah.
There we go. Internet dipped. My favorite is always when like in a restaurant or whatever, and one table starts singing happy birthday, and then like everyone else joins in, but no one knows the name. So then it's just that really quiet second.
When you gotta say a name, like when you go, "Happy birthday, dear, happy birthday to you."
That one.
Right.
I got to
You got
tell
no
you,
name.
I was in June. My buddy and I, he was hanging out with us, so we decided to go to a restaurant. It was during COVID. It was right after the restaurants first opened up, and we wanted to support the local restaurant. It was his favorite place to go. We go in, we sit down, him and his girlfriend and I, and we're at our own table in the corner of the room. And in the other side of the restaurant, we hear the people singing happy birthday. And I look at him, I'm like, can you believe people? It's COVID and they go to a restaurant to celebrate a birthday. I mean, how irresponsible is that? And he looks at me and he goes, isn't today your birthday? I'm like, oh crap.
They're telling people that they're irresponsible doing the same damn thing you doing. That's what you're trying to say,
It's the
Dave.
American way.
Right. It is American way. We shit on
I could
everybody.
never forget my birthday because it's one of those unique days, Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never forget that.
Yeah.
So are you doing a birthday stream tomorrow?
Birthday stream.
Like a birthday stream. It's
That feels like the hell.
yeah.
Okay.
It's where you go, you stream, and you invite a bunch of people to come and tell you what a great person you are. It looks awesome.
I don't need anyone telling me how great I am.
But I am great. What I need.
Right. I am
I
great.
can have a birthday stream, but don't tell me how great
Yes,
I
you
am.
are.
No, I don't like to hear that. I don't like
I
to
already
hear
know
that.
how great I am.
I'm not the very I'm not one who I don't like to talk about myself. Don't like to
Well, yeah, no, you're not supposed to talk about yourself. That's why you invite other people into your stream.
No, I
Do it for
I don't
you.
like hearing that stuff. No, I don't
Neil-
like it, and that's
Neil
why I
did
don't.
that
That's
one.
why I don't like parties. Well, I'll
I always
go
talk
to.
about myself.
I'll go
You
to
don't like
other people's.
parties?
I'll go to other people's parties. I'll go to your, but not for myself. I hate being the center of attention. No.
But you were today. You were today on my show.
Oh yes, but that's just that's your show, so I can be a guest on your show.
You can pretend it's not.
Yeah.
You wanted to say your name was Esther? My favorite grandmother's name was Esther.
No, I
And,
hated
Aw.
that. I
names are
hated
awesome
that name.
anymore.
I hated that name when I was growing up. I didn't like it
Really?
at all. I asked my mom. I said, "Why on earth would you name me Esther of all the
Or on
names
any
in
other
this
planet.
world?" And my mom said, "Well, we are Christians, and we had to name
Why not
you."
Mary?
No, she said we had to name you after the nearest holiday, and the nearest holiday was Easter. I said,
That's the thing?
Why not name me Valentine, Vanessa, something
That's
like
what you have to have to do with
that?
Easter.
And my mom says, "Oh, that's your other name. Your other name's Valentina." I'm like, "Oh."
Oh.
But nobody calls me that. Didn't like the name
Yeah.
Esther. No.
Yeah,
I still don't like the name.
So
my
what should we call
Jehovah's
you?
Witness. I don't know if you know anything about the Jehovah's Witness, but she was a Jehovah's Witness,
Jehovah's Witness.
and she was named
No,
after
they only
Esther.
come banging on your door every fucking
Yes.
weekend.
Yeah. And that's pretty much what killed her, because she wouldn't take a blood transfusion.
Oh no.
And
Yeah, I hear about that so much. So sad.
and
Oops.
but yeah,
A birthday hairball. Oh, how generous.
The cat behind Dave.
Back on Google Plus, I remember there was somebody named Eunice. And I thought, that's
Oh,
an
that's a horrible name.
Sorry?
Eunice, yeah, I wouldn't want to be saddled with that name, that's for sure.
The kind of old sounding name. Yeah.
the only Eunice that I can think of is the one that was on Mama's Family. You remember?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
When that played Eunice.
Carol Burnett.
Started on Carol Burnett, yes.
Oh, yeah, that's where it.
Eunice, wasn't it Eunice Chantilly? Something like that?
Something like
That
that.
name? Something like that. Eunice? I loved Carol Burnett.
Oh, she's
yeah.
awesome, yeah.
Yeah, I loved Carol Burnett.
We have a channel here that still airs it. So it's called
Oh,
Family?
really?
Wow.
Yeah, you can get that and Green Acres and Hogan's Heroes and Gilligan's Island and
Nice.
Harry
nice.
Mason and all the old. Actually, they revamped
That
Harry
sounds
Mason.
like Me TV. And
It is. It is.
yeah,
Me
yeah.
TV.
We get Me TV too. And I was like really happy
Andy
when
Griffith.
all the old shows. I've been like
Enough of
binge watching The Twilight Zone because
Yes.
why not? I didn't realize how good a show that really was.
Oh, that was a great
And-
show.
Yeah, until like I got older and then I can appreciate actually
Yes,
like
Jeff, I have a roommate.
good show.
Oh, you mean to come in? Oh.
There is a there's a YouTube
Oh,
channel.
God.
All they do is play G.I. Joe episodes over and over again.
That does what?
There's a YouTube channel that all they do is play the G.I. Joe cartoon episodes over and over again.
Oh, you serious?
Really?
Serious?
Wow.
There's a SpongeBob one, and there's a what's the one with the little ball that the creatures pop out of?
Pokemon.
Pokemon. Yeah, there's one for Pokemon too.
Oh no, we don't fuck with Pokemon. Fuck that shit.
I feel like I probably missed quite a lot of cultural stuff whenever.
See,
Uh,
guys, this is why headphones are important in these after parties, because if you're not wearing headphones, you don't realize when someone else is speaking because you're on a delay. So, just so you know.
There goes.
Sorry.
Yeah. I found that quite often when I'm talking to people and they'll bring up a TV show or whatever, I'll have to play the game of, is it just that I'm much younger than all of my friends, or did I miss this because I didn't watch TV for like 8 years straight?
Both.
Yep.
Huh.
Yeah, because I feel like I missed out on quite a lot of cultural stuff because of how my family is.
So that's interesting. You just mentioned that you didn't watch TV for 8 years. Is that correct?
Yeah, as a kid, we just didn't have a TV license, so we couldn't watch TV.
Well, TV license? Wait, what is this?
Oh, in the
In the
UK,
UK, you have to have a
in the
TV
UK,
license.
you have to have a television license.
What, like, is that like a driver license?
So it's like
No,
it's
you have
like
to pay to be allowed to watch TV,
watch
basically.
television.
Like
It's like
cable?
Well, we have
tax.
to do that here too. They just don't call it a license.
It's like a
Like, wait,
tax
like
you pay
cable?
Pay for cable, yeah.
No,
Yeah.
not cable.
Nope,
to
separate.
own
Wait, whoa, you have to-
television.
You have
own
to
it.
pay to own a TV?
Yeah.
No, to own a TV that's connected such that you could, in theory, watch channels.
So wait, so you buy the television,
Mhm.
and then
That is so bizarre.
and you have to buy cable, and in addition to that, you have to buy a license.
Yes,
To
To
connect
the
it to the
cable.
cable.
but
the
the
fuck?
only
Wow.
the only way you can the
Here's Jeff.
people who don't have to pay
That
TV license is if they've got a black and white television.
That is nobody.
My mind is like exploding right now. Why is this
Well,
a
what if you
thing?
only watch black and white TV?
I think if you're a pensioner and above the age of 70, then you don't have to pay a
It's either
television
65 or
I
70.
have a question.
license.
Is
65
there-
or 70, I'm not sure how.
Is there an
Is this-
extra fee? Is there an extra fee if the TV has a clicker, like a remote control?
Wait, okay, so like, is this like a government thing, or does
Yes.
it get
It is a
Yeah, it's a government
you
thing.
pay the government
Okay.
to watch TV?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a
Wow.
government thing.
Okay.
You got to remember, you got to remember,
Holy fuck.
we it's mainly because we got obviously two major state TV channels, so it's basically pays to the BBC.
Okay.
Pretty
so
much.
The beauty of it is, because you pay for the BBC, when you watch programs, there are no ads. No ads.
Oh.
Oh,
So
okay.
you're paying to.
So you do
But
get something
the
out of
other-
it. It's not like
Okay.
American taxes.
But that's
Yeah.
Yeah.
only when you're watching the BBC, and there's just a few BBC channels. All the others.
Well,
I
I
think-
Yeah.
I
I think-
personally like BBC shows.
Yeah.
So I may be
Some of
okay with paying the BBC tax.
That's
You
fair.
know,
I mean, I
sounds-
still don't really watch TV now, but now I have the option, and so I've been watching things like Doctor Who and Sherlock. I mostly thought it was Doctor Who.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Think about it.
I've always
So-
sort of been a Whovian, but it's been like the books and stuff as opposed to the TV show.
Oh yes, yes.
Well,
Oh,
the
my
fun
goodness,
stuff.
yes.
So
The fun
if
stuff
this was
they're
in America,
not-
if
they're
it was
not on
America
BBC.
that was happening, license for TV, then people would have to pay a license so they could tune in to watch Alex Jones.
Yeah. Yeah, because that is
Hey,
fake
Remembrance of
TV.
the Daleks, yes.
I'm a huge Whovian.
Hey, I've got my TARDIS mug somewhere up here,
Oh
which
my-
people
yeah.
gets the comment that I must have stolen it from Shannon.
Oh my goodness, yeah. My friend bought me, and I have no idea where my mug is, unfortunately. But she bought me a coffee mug that said I had a dialect on it, and it said caffeinate, caffeinate. And I'm like, yes, you know me, you get me. Thank you. That's important.
I like that. I
Yeah.
actually have a
Oh.
I have a Tom Baker replica scarf downstairs.
I have a Tom Baker replica scarf in my closet as we speak. Hold on.
How to piss off all the Star Trek fans here.
Hey.
Oh, I got to start to teach you. I loved him in Star Trek.
Like, so do people like follow you around with torches and pickaxes when you wear that shirt?
Of course they
Sometimes.
do.
So
But we're pretty
Technically-
civilized here in Canada, so it doesn't happen for very long.
technically, aren't the Borg just a rip off of the Cybermen?
There's a comic book you can get where Doctor Who teams up with X Generation because
Yeah.
the Cybermen and Borg team up and they have to go up against them.
That's quite
I have
fun.
that series.
I like that.
It's cool. Can we have a conspiracy tax? The other one that has to pay it is Alex Jones.
So the big question is, who will collect the conspiracy tax?
Me.
Mhm.
Okay.
The gay frogs.
I'll- I'll
The
do
camera.
it.
Collect it.
Yeah.
Binary people don't
Yeah.
exist, so I can do it fine.
Hey, you, the people in Great Britain, I've heard this thing about the television tax or license thing that you guys were talking about earlier. And apparently there are inspectors that come around to your home to look at how many TVs you have and what you're connected to. But
Yes,
apparently,
if you don't have a license, they'll come and investigate.
yeah,
Investigate.
but I've
You
heard
are
that they don't have the authority to enter your home and you can tell them to screw off.
they will try and enter your home anyway, but if you physically stop them, then they're not allowed.
Oh,
Good.
They've
Oh,
got
wow.
they've got like scanners that can scan what you call it the you know the when your televisions gives off some kind of what they can scan and
Signal.
tell
So the
yeah
so
they
the
can scan
BBC
and tell
so
if
the
you've got
BBC has police enforcers. Wonderful.
Sort of, yeah. And they actually, when I was a kid, several times a year, they would come round and they would try and catch us out watching TV.
That just seems so bizarre.
yeah.
I want to know, where do you hang the license plate? I mean, like you gotta
Oh my god, I have to have those. Hang on.
They don't require a license to use the internet, though, do they?
No, though if you
No.
want to use BBC iPlayer, you do also require a license for that, even though it's not watching TV.
Mhm.
Wait, there's a separate internet license?
Oh
No, it's the same. It's the
Oh.
for BBC iPlayer specifically, it goes under the TV license because it's BBC stuff.
So if you don't own a television and you want to watch the BBC iPlayer,
Okay.
still need a TV license for that.
So for a
Although
TV
it's
license, is this annual or monthly or?
You can choose to pay annually or you can choose to pay monthly. The choice is yours.
What a choice. It's just
Well, it might be discounted for the yearly fee. I don't know.
I don't think
I don't know. Like for
okay.
I'm like trying to. I don't know. For us, it would just be a government tax, and they would tax like Comcast or whoever your carrier is, and you would just see government tax on it, and it just would be included into your monthly bill. So I don't know that I'm not paying that, because we're evil fuckers.
See, I don't even know I don't even know how much it is, but I presume it's not that much.
No, it's
One-
not much. I think
We
it's
watch
100 it's 130, I think, pounds, £130 a month, a year.
Yeah.
My wife and I watch BBC here sometimes on the internet, and there's ads showing up all the time.
Yeah, but that's here. They rebroadcast it here.
Yeah.
It's not the same.
Now I'm talking about watching it over the internet from BBC's website.
Yes, I know
Yeah.
that.
We used to have it on TV here when we had TV.
That's
We-
special.
157.
You get the ad.
And they had advertising here too.
My bad, sorry, it's 157.
The good thing is I suppose the one decent thing of it is as licensed players, we can technically complain about what they put on there, to them. So
That's
Yep.
true.
What are we complaining about? I was too busy looking for Doctor Who shit. I'm sorry.
Oh, wait a minute. Tiffany has wine. Now I have to go.
Scarf on.
Yes, I have a scarf. I have wine. It's on and popping.
I know Maya, right?
Excellent.
That wine looks really good.
I am tucked up in 3 blankets and I have cider. You just can't see because I have my camera on.
Wait, say that one more time, Sam. I didn't quite get all that.
I'm tucked up in 3 blankets and I have a cider, but you can't see because my camera's off.
Oh, okay. See, you should totally. I think that now that you have told us this, that you have to show it too, just so that we can believe you.
Yeah, if there's no pictures,
Nah.
it never happened.
I have no reason not to believe him.
Yeah,
Oh,
I believe
I've
him.
just had a little
Them,
check,
them.
and I
Believe
just had a
them.
little check, and people with the black and white televisions now have to pay £53. So a TV license costs 157, but
Fuck, what?
£53 for a black and white TV set.
Is that annually?
How often? Yeah,
Yes,
how often do you have to pay
annually.
the? And that's not bad. I mean,
That's-
like
that's like-
hell, you pay
like
more
a-
than that for fucking cable in the States.
That's like 100 and something fucking bucks in the in Canada.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Who-
per
who owns the
year,
black and
per
white?
household, effectively.
Yeah, I mean, like that's not the if you can watch television for like 153 pounds
Oh, I
per
can watch
year.
television.
Oh yeah, so can I. I'm
Yeah.
you know, and I'm a binge queen. Especially like my last thing that I binged was the Great British Baking Show. I am obsessed kind of with British television,
It's just
and
bloody Bake
and
Off.
I
You need Red Dwarf.
yeah, I'm just saying, like I am. I'm obsessed with I'm kind of obsessed with British television. I have been for a very long time. It's all my mother's fault, even though that she doesn't believe that it
Do
is.
you remember Three's Company?
I
Yep.
do.
That's originally a British show called Man About the House.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which I didn't remember it.
Yep. And matter of fact, I think that PBS used to show old shows of Man About the House like back in the day, and
A lot of their shows were in
Yeah,
America were once British shows.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
Well, mostly that was on PBS, and that's how my exposure to British television came about. And again, it's my mom's fault. The reason why I'm a Whovian now is because of my mom. We used to watch old episodes
Yeah.
of Tom Baker, like
Oh,
back in
yeah.
the day on Sunday nights, like snapping peas. And my mom was like, "You got to go to school in the morning, go to bed." And I was like, "Hell no, Tom Baker's still on, whatever."
This is what, that's what Neil was saying. It's, this is why, like, I kind of chuckle when I hear Americans say that Archie Bunker was a controversial TV character, and I'm like,
Right.
he's a watered down version of character on our screens called Alf Garnett, who was based on,
Exactly.
which was way worse. With the,
I believe
Oh, he was.
I never watched those particular shows that
But it was fun
actually-
because it had a British accent.
Yeah, well, that's how. But you know what? Isn't it funny, like how we would completely overskirt anything that seems quite rude or funky as long as you have a British accent? Like you get away with it. You get away
one of my partners has literally won arguments about who has the better partner with friends by just going, "Mine's British."
Right. That's
All right,
it.
guys. Before we continue, Esther just put a note in the side chat. She's getting tired.
Yeah,
So,
it is tired.
It's pretty late where she is, but once again, Esther, I can't thank you enough for being my guest today. It was
and
a lot of fun having you on.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And can I just say, as it is
cheers
actually
to
gone
Esther.
midnight. Can I just say happy birthday to you because it is actually gone
Yeah, happy
midnight now. And
birthday.
it is your
It
birthday.
is. It is officially your birthday.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Valentine's
Oh,
Day.
can we
yes.
can we do it this way? Da-da-da-da-da-da. Today is your birthday. Da-da-da-da-da. Happy birthday to you.
Today's
Today's your birthday. Hey, hey, happy birthday to you. Molly Wap on it. Molly Wap on it. Molly Wap on it. Hey.
Just imagine
Nice.
balloons and cake and candles and the whole works.
The whole
Right.
year. Well, we don't got all that, but we got wine. How about that?
We got booze. We're good.
Could always do this.
Yes.
Could always do this one. This is your birthday song. It won't be very long. That's it.
Yay!
Happy birthday.
Hey!
Sam.
There we
All
go.
right. All right,
Oh, Sam, where's our pretty face?
so
Esther, I want to thank you too. And Neil, I've got to step out because my dinner's ready. So
Oh,
I'm
all right,
going to go have dinner now. So
gonna go have some of those yellow spiders.
no, but I'll be listening. I just gonna, I don't want to eat in front
No
of
problem.
everybody. So
No problem.
That's important. I'm getting hungry. Yay, thank you, Kat. I'm saying thank you for Esther.
My secret is I'm always hungry.
Right?
Kind of like the Hulk that way. He's always angry. I'm always hungry.
Right?
Well, Esther, have
Thank you.
yourself a wonderful birthday tomorrow. Lots of love to you.
Today.
And,
It's now
yeah, well,
today.
yes,
Here's
sure.
Saturday.
Not so
Happy
much for
birthday.
me, but
Thank you.
you're in the future, so
Right.
What are you, like half a day behind?
What are the lottery numbers?
Okay. Bye. Good night.
Happy
Bye,
birthday,
Esther. Thanks a
Esther.
lot.
Thank
See you
you.
later.
Bye.
Bye now.
Right.
Yeah. She's
So she's
awesome.
cool.
Yeah.
She is. She's awesome.
Yeah.
She's awesome. I had her on my channel a couple of weeks ago. She's really
I
cool.
remember that. Yeah.
Oh, I missed that. I'm gonna have to look that up. Well, I need to binge watch all your stuff. I'm so far behind.
Right, exactly. And make sure you guys check out tomorrow, the nonprofits.
That's right.
Oh,
3
that's
p.m.
right.
Central Standard
I'm not
Time.
in this episode, but
What's tomorrow's show about?
Cynthia is.
I am in tomorrow's show. Tomorrow's show has V La Bianca. I was telling V that their name is so lyrical. I must sing it every time that I hear it. I feel like singing it every time I hear it.
Why do all the special guests come on when I'm not there for it?
I was gonna joke I might have to not watch it if Neil's not gonna be there, but if V's on, you know.
Yeah, V's on.
So damn it, Neil, you did not pay your conspiracy tax. That's what this is.
That's what it was. That's what it is. You didn't pay it. There you go. See, you're in arrears, Neil. You're in arrears.
Oh no! I prepaid my conspiracy taxes 6 months in advance, so I'm good till April. I'm good till
okay. Okay, cool. Then then I take that back.
The gay frogs are a little busy. Collections are slow right now.
That's right.
Gay frogs.
Do you think the conspiracy tax has gone up since COVID?
I think so.
Right.
I think it went up when
Probably
Donald
should
Trump
do.
came into office.
I mean,
I'm paying an
that's
extra
like
12%, so it must be.
right. Well, to be honest, like that conspiracy tax has always been there before Donald. Before 45, I just called him by his number of when he was president.
Yeah, like we do with inmates.
I'm sorry?
Like we do with inmates.
Exactly. Right.
Yeah.
But did you hear that he got acquitted in the Senate?
Yeah.
That's unfortunate. But I knew that was going to happen. But
God damn it, Cynthia! I'm over here trying to have a good time.
Right. I'm sorry. Drink your wine, honey. Drink your wine. It's all good.
I need it now.
Yeah,
You're giving me a bad shit.
Drink your wine. Drink your wine. It's all good. You know what? The first impeachment I felt was a waste of time. The second impeachment I supported because I really need him not to be able to run for any other office ever again in life. Including
the first impeachment pissed me off because we knew it wasn't going to go through, and that's fine. Just throw the whole book at him.
I'll be back in a minute.
Okay.
Like we're trying to set a precedent, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's supposed to be the point of all this. So why are we letting shit go? So there's a whole bunch of shit that he did and got away with, and it's just done now. I don't know.
It's, and my whole thing, I was just more concerned about him being able to, get into office and really incite a riot. Like you literally were able to incite, nationalists who call themselves patriots, but they're really trying to do a whole fucking treason coup, right? To the Capitol, and that's very dangerous. And we already knew the type of people who was going to be there. And I still want to ask a Capitol revolter, what the fuck are you revolting for? Seriously.
Antifa.
MAGA. You're trying to take our voice away. Fuck out of here.
This is what I found was so funny with Kevin Sorbo on Twitter during the day at the Capitol, right? In the space of 1 hour, he went from we're storming the Capitol to please don't storm the Capitol.
Was it one or was it two?
It was just it was an hour. And then
that's great.
And then by the end of the hour it was Antifa stormed the Capitol.
Oh my God, that was crazy. And when I found out that Kevin Sorbo was within that whole QAnon type supporting shit, I was really upset because I liked Hercules and I liked Andromeda.
Yeah, he was good in both of those.
Yes, he was, and
that's what he should have. He should have stayed with that.
Yeah, and just shut the fuck up.
Actually, did anybody see
Kevin Sorbo?
Did anybody see what Lucy Lawless tweeted out about a day or so ago?
I heard that she tweeted something. I didn't find it.
Yeah, what did she tweet?
It was because someone sort of said that someone sort of tweeted her saying you should replace that Gina Carano in The Mandalorian.
Oh yeah.
And her response was, "Oh, but I really had my heart set on the sequel to God's Not Dead," like sarcastically. Oh, she loves getting her burns in on Sorbo.
Oh God, yeah, I love Lucy Lawless, and she was fantastic in Xena the Warrior Princess, and I didn't particularly care for the Gabrielle character. What was her name again? Does anybody remember? The one who played Gabrielle? I forgot her name.
Do you guys remember the show The Dukes of Hazzard, the original one? The guy in there, John Schneider.
Yeah.
He races cars, and he's been a bunch of other stuff. But he is so embedded in the QAnon thing, like
he's terrible.
That's horrible.
He is catastrophic.
Is he like worse than Randy Quaid?
Oh, I don't know how he could be any worse. He sits there and he says, you know, hey, Schneid's fans and all this stuff. Well, I don't know what's going on out there, but according to my analytics, this is what's happening with the COVID antivirus, and this is all a hoax, and it's according to my analytics, like the research I've done, he has no freaking
my analytics. You know, people be killing me with that bullshit, like my analytics. What the fuck does that mean?
Yeah.
I was
Generally means for their research, they've watched some other idiot on YouTube.
Yeah,
right, exactly. Or I
love that meme where it's like I did my own research, and it's like, you know, i.e., I watched someone else's shitty YouTube video.
I saw that.
And that's usually what it is. I mean, like, you was on the toilet shitting, watching a YouTube video, and then came up with, what you said is right. I'm like, the fuck?
Well, no, the problem is
it had to be the reptilians.
Yeah, it had to.
Well, that's the thing is when they're doing their research into if the reptilians are running the government, they don't type in like something about reptilians, government, story, truth. They write in reptilian government conspiracy. So they see 75 reptilian government conspiracies, right? It's not just that you search, it's what you search and how you search and how you proof, like, are those the whole QAnon site. If you go through their site, it's great because they'll put a story in there that will link to another story, that will link to another story, that will link to another story, that will link back to the story you read as research for all 5 stories.
Yeah, it becomes like just a rabbit hole you go down, doesn't it?
Right.
100%.
It's very circular. It's like research using our resources. Who are we citing? Ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's like with the YECs now, they're coining their own terms so that when people try to look it up on the internet, they only see like YEC terms. And so you're...
You know what? Hey, Sam, you know what? I blame all the Cyrillians. This is their fault.
Tons of mice just wrote in the chat. It means he ran it by Boss Hog. Hog analysis.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. And Ian, shut up, whatever. Everybody should do shit every day.
I'm disappointed because I quite like John Schneider in Smallville as well. So
yeah, that was filmed here. He was in Vancouver when that was going on.
I mean, you could be a great actor apparently and have shitty takes on life.
Yep.
Facts.
Famous people get given a free pass on having way too much credibility.
I'm saying
that's unfortunate. That Malcolm X warned us about that. Did he?
Doesn't match their area. I have to get going, folks. If someone can say goodbye to Neil for me, I have to head up to Randolph.
No
worries.
I'm sure he'll understand.
Sorry?
We got you.
Okay.
We're sure he'll understand, right?
Yeah.
I think Neil is watching.
Right.
Bye, Neil.
He's at the very least he's listening.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
All right. Take care, everyone. Enjoy the snow.
All
right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
What we said about the Silurians a minute ago.
Oh yeah,
I feel like the Silurians get a bad rap.
No, I'm blaming this whole thing on the Silurians. I am Silurians. For people who don't know, they're a let me give them background for those who are not Whovians. The Silurians are a race of reptile humanoids and they have been featured multiple times on Doctor Who since the 70s. And they are actually a race that predates humanity. Okay. Yes, on Earth. So like they are considered the original people, if that makes sense. And so since like we were all talking about, and it was kind of funny, like as soon as I started hearing about reptile people in some of these conspiracy theories, I was like, damn it, didn't Doctor Who predict this?
See, the thing is
the thing is that the guy who
with the
started
Silurians is that they're sorry, not that bad.
Well, say that again, Sam.
Sam's internet.
Sorry, oh fuck's sake, my bloody internet. It's because the kids are trying to both watch YouTube at once.
God damn those kids watching fucking YouTube. Stop that shit. Go ahead.
So the thing with the Silurians is that they're sorry, not that bad.
They're not bad. No, they're not bad people. I would definitely say I forgot the female Silurian that actually was kind of like an ally.
Madame Vestra.
Do you remember her name? What's her name?
Madame Vestra.
Yes, Madame Vestra.
Oh,
yeah. She's a good Silurian, and she was an ally of Doctor Who, and she was pretty badass, and she had a wife, right?
Madame Vestra was who Arthur Conan Doyle based Sherlock Holmes off of, canonically.
Okay. I never read any Sir Arthur Conan Doyle's story.
Oh,
you know what?
I never have.
To read. I am actually starting to read all through all the Sherlock Holmes stories.
Ooh,
I've got all of them.
Ooh, very nice. I've not read them in bloody ages.
I haven't done that yet. I'm still trying to get to the. I'm rereading the 3 Negro classics, and I'm also reading this right now.
What is it?
I can't quite.
The Fire Next Time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, James Baldwin's The Fire Next. It's a story. It's a collection of short essays.
Nice.
Really good.
I'm reading several things at the moment. I'm reading a book on ancient Egyptian morality. I'm reading a book on the Britain pre-Romans. Though it only covers it very briefly, unfortunately. Like the book is trying to cover thousands of years, and it's only like 400 pages long.
What is Britain pre-Roman? What is that like? I would think it would be kind of tribal before the Romans came in.
Yeah, it would have been. Absolutely would have been.
Yeah. Depending how you want to define tribe, you could argue not, but in effect, yes.
Well, I was thinking that like the whole of Europe was fairly tribal before they, set up like borders and
they were
things of that nature.
They were very similar to the Germanic tribes in that sense, though this is where my area of interest lies. The theology behind both of them was very different, but kind of got mixed later on.
That would be interesting to learn what, because to be honest with you, like all I think of, like when I think of Great Britain, I think of Britannia, Roman era, and then after. Like I can't imagine.
Well, there isn't obviously a written history really before
the
Romans.
The Celts didn't really have writing, so there's very limited writings on what we know about the Celts, and a lot of what we think we know about the Celts is extrapolations based on commonalities amongst other European civilizations, and then a bunch of archaeological evidence.
But we do know. I mean, what we certainly can say is that
they built Stonehenge.
It certainly was. It certainly, yeah, we can say that much, and it certainly this wasn't a united sort of nation when the Romans came in at all. It was lots of different little mini kingdoms and so on.
Yeah, it's a bit like how if you say the Norse or whatever, in what we now know as Norway, there are actually a bunch of different tribes,
Right.
Yeah.
each with their own style of writing, actually, which makes trying to discuss that era of history in terms of reconstructing what society would have looked like.
That would be interesting to read. I would like to read more
hard.
about that. That would be very interesting to read about pre-Roman history in Britannia. Tons of Meister said pre-Roman Britain, no one needed a license to watch TV.
We blame the Romans for that.
Right. Goddamn Romans, they fuck everything up.
What have the Romans ever done for us? You know?
Yeah. Except for creating roads and infrastructure. Fuck you.
They
Romans.
used to watch a lot of offline content.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's for sure.
yeah, okay. Insert drum riff here. Oh, that's fun. Doorknob, we have another dad joke. The Celts didn't write because the kilts were distracting. All them sexy knees.
Oh, see, I thought it was because they wore tank tops, shoulders.
Shoulders.
Shoulders can be distracting if you let them. But I noticed, is this a thing? Like now I'm seeing that kilts are becoming more fashionable.
Sort of. When I used to work in pubs, we had one or two people come in with kilts. That was always fun. One of them came in with kilts for... I'm trying to remember what it was now. I think it might have been Remembrance Day. And he came in with his kilt and his bagpipes. And he spent all afternoon just stood up playing songs for us and being given beers.
That's pretty cool.
And he tried to teach someone to play the bagpipes, at which point I decided I was leaving to go and check the tables outside.
Nice.
Yeah.
Did he? So like he was getting beers for free?
Other people were buying him beers because he was playing the bagpipes for them.
Well, I mean, I would do that.
Highland dress is a very formal dress,
Well, I can't play bagpipes, but I will definitely sing for free alcohol. I totally would. Like, well, one of the things that I wanted to do, hopefully when COVID gets more under control is, of course, I want to go to UK, but
if you're ever over here, give us a shout.
I'm sorry. What'd you say?
If you're ever over here, give us a shout.
I will let all the people who I have encountered that's in the UK that I am coming to the UK. So find me.
Do you guys like UK jokes about kilts? What's the similarity between the Loch Ness Monster and a bagpiper playing perfectly in tune?
That
don't exist.
There.
Right. Wait, they what?
Well,
they both don't exist.
See, bagpipes are like the violin. When they're played well, they're played very well. When they're played poorly, you don't want to be in the same room.
Right. Do you know, I think that there's some YouTube videos that's out there of bagpipers playing jazz.
Yes, I've seen that.
Probably, yes.
Yes.
That wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
That would do a lot with bagpipes. You just often people who can be bothered to learn to play bagpipes want to play traditional music.
I mean, I don't necessarily see bagpipes outside of traditional music. And when you actually interject it into something else, my brain does not accept it.
There's a really bagpiper video of AC/DC's Thunderstruck.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen that video.
So, okay,
my favorite use of
rock.
Yeah. My favorite use of bagpipes, though, is for a ceilidh.
Sorry, for what?
For what?
Ceilidh.
Ceilidh?
It's a type of effectively traditional Scottish dancing.
Oh, okay.
My only advice is if you're ever in a pub in Scotland and you hear bagpipes, start playing Run.
Why, Sam? Why would you have to run?
That was actually, oh dear. I forget that not everyone moves in the same circles as me. There's a semi-famous comedian, though their name escapes me at the moment, who is Scottish, who made a comment about that because that often means a ceilidh is starting. I mean, in a ceilidh, you will just get trampled if you don't keep up.
Oh, okay. Well, then I
And
need
people will grab you from your seat and yoink you out of your seat just to make you join the Kaylee.
Oh my gosh! And I'll be like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I'm American. That will be my excuse anywhere I go in the UK. If anyone tries to
they can hear you over the bloody bagpipes.
Right, I would. Well, my voice carries as much as possible. Like, I'm American. Can't do this shit.
See, I can avoid Kaylee's because Kaylee's involve arms and I'm a snake.
Oh, right.
Kaylee's are actually really fun. We actually had one at my mum's second wedding.
Now, what exactly is involved, Kaylee?
I'd have to try and find you a video, I think.
I think it is, to be honest, you can't really, it's something you have to actually see. It's difficult to actually explain it.
Okay, well, I charge you to find a link to a video so that we can witness this all together as a family.
Hey, Silas, where are you from?
I'm on my phone, so I'm
I am doing the Google now.
Yeah.
That's Jeff. Where in the UK are you?
I'm on the south coast in the UK, so.
What south coast?
I am
you guys anywhere close to each other or no? Well, no, because Manchester is north, right?
In Manchester.
Yeah, and that's north, right?
Yeah, Manchester is northwest.
Northwest. And Jeff,
I'm just outside.
And Jeff's a dirty southerner.
A dirty southerner. Well, that's the same thing that we say here in the United States.
We do. We really do.
Yeah, you dirty southerner.
I mean, they're kind of dragging the rest of us behind.
They really are. They are. They've been doing that since pre-Civil War. So yeah. Wait, okay. Tons of Mice said just between you're at a mall on Black Friday. Okay, thank you, Tons of Mice. That says enough. I know that not to be bothered with the Kaylee. Gotcha.
So, quick question: How racist are Englanders or
that's
UKers?
A good question. That's a very good question.
That depends on the area.
What do you call yourselves? Brits. You're Brits.
Brits, right? Yeah. I mean, my area is about 50% people of color.
Okay.
50%.
So relatively speaking, we're not as racist, though I still see some racism, especially with old people. I have gotten into arguments with old people on buses before over them making racist remarks.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Relatable.
That's very nice. I've argued with people on buses, but it was
for family gatherings.
Yeah, or life. I have argued with people in life. So yeah, go ahead. That's interesting.
We've got racists in Britain. We're not very good at it. You're
racist. Go ahead.
We're racist against gingers in the UK. So
it's gingers in the French.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, I've heard that there's a thing concerning gingers in the UK, especially y'all need to explain this to me because every time that there's a new incarnation of the Doctor, and every time that a thing always comes up with the Doctor, ginger, I'm still not ginger. So what's the thing against ginger people in the UK? Explain.
It comes from picking on the Irish.
Okay.
Pretty much.
Okay, gotcha.
I'm not going to say whether or not my family has Irish heritage, but half of my family are redheads.
Wow.
Wow. Well, I don't know. I just know that my last name is McDonald, but I just take that from the slave owner who owned my family. So
my dad's mom's maiden name was McDonald. So I guess technically I am.
Yeah, so we may be cousins.
From Illinois too.
Right, and we're from Illinois. Well, so do you have people in the South?
I hear we're Mississippi.
Okay. So my people are mainly the South people are mainly from Tennessee, but of course
Tennesseans.
Well, Tennessee, Tennessee and Mississippi are like right next to each
They
other.
really
So
are, though.
they really are. And I do have people that's from Arkansas, but when I trace my lineage back to plantations, I noticed that my oldest relative came from Virginia. Which that makes sense because Virginia had a large slave port.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, they did. So it makes sense a lot of slaves' ancestry would come through that area before they kind of moved through the South.
No, I can trace my lineage to Mississippi on both sides.
Oh, okay. Okay. So you're descendant of a
I'm Mississippi, because that's all we're allowed to know.
That's all. Well, yeah. Well, it's like I found Mississippi. Well, not necessarily Mississippi, but I found Virginia, North Carolina, Tennessee, and Tennessee is kind of like the last stopping ground of the South before a lot of family, moved to Chicago during the Great Migration, including my dad and my grandma. But of course, that's on my dad's side. On my mom's side, is something different because they're from the West Indies. So there you go. Yeah, I'm a hodgepodge of stuff, people, as far as lineage is concerned. But it's all good.
Well, yeah, I mean, Black people know we're all mutts.
We do, but that makes us healthy stock.
It used to really matter before global travel was invented.
True that. I think I told this story before. I kind of am curious about getting my DNA done, but I'm concerned about having my
I won't do it.
Information in a database for sale. Because I'm very curious to see if there's any Chinese in my lineage. And the reason being is because in Jamaica, the third largest minority group is Chinese. Because after slavery was abolished by the Brits, there was an influx of different groups of people to work on the sugarcane plantations because the former slaves would not. And you had an influx of people from India, and you had an influx of people from China. The ones who were from China didn't really last long on the plantations, and a lot of them became merchants. And my grandmother, specifically, my mom's mother, came from an area called Pleasant Valley, but she used to work with a lot of Chinese merchants when she was still in Jamaica. And I remember one day after she in Chicago, I used to take this train called the Red Line to my job. Maya, you maybe be familiar. And
this is relatively tame. I don't think you'll be able to hear the audio, but I'll turn it up in case you can.
Okay,
no, turn the audio down. Turn the audio down, Sam. Don't put the audio on.
Oh right, yeah.
Okay, they look like they're dancing.
This is really pretty tame.
It's like square dancing.
It looks like square dancing.
It's more like line
dancing. Kind of jump ahead a second. They start doing this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But all of these people are sober.
Oh, well, there you go.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Well, so back to my story, if it's okay. We stopped at an area that's called Chinatown in Chicago, and this lady, older lady, who's Chinese, got on the train, and I started staring at her, and the reason being is because she looked just like my grandmother.
Oh.
And I know that I stared at her for a few stops, and she was like, "Why is this lady staring at me?" And I wanted to go up to her belt bag, like, "Oh my goodness, you look just like my grandma." And I know that she's gonna look at me like, "I do not look like your grandma." I'm like, "No, word, you do look like my grandmother." And I wanted to ask my mom if she knew about lineage, from that area. And I would think that there's a possibility, only because, knowing the history of Jamaica, when it came to these influx of people actually intermingling with, the Black folk that were already there. And, two people who I can think that's fairly famous has Jamaican ancestry that has like a tie to Chinese lineage is Tyson Beckford. His people are from Jamaica, and his grandmother was full Chinese. and Naomi Campbell,
Mm.
whose people also came from Jamaica. And I think I don't know if it was like one of her grandmothers or what have you. That was also there's Chinese in her lineage as well.
I'm sorry, the chat is cut up.
Yeah. I mean, I don't. I mean, I mean, one of the things I noticed, like that British kids will never get taught in school, is when the British tried to go in and take over Haiti, and got their asses handed to them by the Haitians.
Oh,
Was that
my-
after 1803 or before 1803?
It was a result of the Haitian Revolution. Yeah, that
Oh, that
basically
was in
the British.
1803. Mhm.
Yes, that was after they kicked the French out. The British thought they were going to go in there and exploit that situation,
Mm.
and they got their
I
asses
actually-
handed to them by like Trousseau Overture and stuff. So
Yeah.
Mm.
I actually did get
That's
taught about that, but not in history lessons. I used to go and sit and chat to one of the history teachers sometimes at lunchtime,
Mhm.
who was, weirdly enough, the only Jewish teacher in my Christian school. And so he told me about all sorts of ridiculous shit that's gone on in history, including that.
Wow.
But most
Yeah,
people don't. Most people don't get taught about that, though.
Yeah, I didn't even know about that.
I don't know if it's still in print or not, but I mean, it's been long time since I read it. But there was a very good. There's one really good book on the Haitian Revolution called The Black Jacobins, which was really good read. I haven't seen that book in like years, and it's like I borrowed it off of someone, but I'm not even sure if it's still in print anymore.
Mm. I wonder even like if a lot of people even knew about like how the Haitian country actually paid reparations to the French
Yeah,
for kicking them out of their country.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
crazy.
I mean, that's about all I heard about it. I don't know like the details, but I was just like, motherfuckers.
Yeah, yeah, they paid. I forgot. It was so many billions of dollars that were extracted from Haiti, and I think that they paid it all the way up into the 1940s. I want to say
Something crazy. Yeah, it's just like,
Yeah.
I will pay you if you will get the fuck out. I'm like, this isn't divorce court. Just kick them the fuck out.
But and that's the crazy thing. They did kick them out and say, well, you know, our property. I'm like, no, you came into these people's countries. You took people from a whole nother continent to work these areas, and you pretty much killed the native people that was already there in order for you to have this particular land that you didn't pay for it. You just took it.
Yeah.
You know, so why are people paying you?
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, man. Excuse me.
What's the? I never looked into Canada. What's the story of Canada? Like, how did you guys like get over?
Yeah, Canada.
How did we get over here? Same way anyone gets over here from Europe.
No, I mean, like, how did they're
The
like
Vikings hit here first.
okay, but they're like actual like natives that don't look like you, right? And
Yep.
then
First Nations people.
Then those. And then at some point the Brits came and just decided to plant a flag somewhere, and now the first do you guys
we basically did the same fuck you thing that we did everywhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The French did
Yeah.
as well here.
and here as well too. Yeah. You guys still speak French, and we were just like, fuck that shit. We had an influx of like, Brits.
Well, you go down to
Irish.
New Orleans and you'll get
And there's
Acadian
that.
French.
Yeah, in Louisiana, they still like intermingle some French terms and even speaking French. You know, especially since that was a big French stronghold.
Well, they migrated down from Quebec all the way down to there, so that's where it all came from.
So wait, how long has Canada been a country?
150 years now, just about.
Is that it?
Is it slightly over now?
When did Canada get its independence from Great Britain?
Has it?
Yeah.
Well, it's a commonwealth, but it's still an autonomous country, kind of like Jamaica.
Well, Canadian.
Canada got independence. I think it was 1860s. Was it? Jeff, you might know better.
I think so. I'm a bit sketchy on that, but
You guys get to learn about when all the countries like officially said "fuck you"?
Oh no, there's like one line about it in the history books. I just read a lot, and I know Jeff's thing is history.
Gotcha.
So in 2017, Canada celebrated its 150 years since its confederation.
Okay.
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 So
I've just done a Google, and it says 1867 was independence.
Because officially, Canada's flag was the British Union flag until 1965 when you adopted the maple leaf.
Right.
Right, because I know that the Brits did something. Because I only know this because like Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, thank you, went over. Like they decided that Britain was too racist for them, and went to Canada, and they just like flew over there and stayed. And they were saying that, oh yeah, because Canada something with Britain, and I'm trying to figure out what that is, because somebody else said that when they like what do you call it, were a Canadian citizen, like they had to like swear to something with the Queen, or like that was all part of the process. Like I have no idea what goes on with Canada, you know, because it's not America and American, and we're kind of having a lot of issues of our own. So by the time I piqued my interest in like countries that were not America, we started having this like kind of Trump revolt, and I'm not haven't been able to keep up on shit.
Yeah,
we don't have a Pledge of Allegiance like they do in the United States. Ours is pretty much be cool, don't screw shit up.
Yep.
But wait, but like when somebody comes to you get your citizenship, isn't there like something? I'm not saying you're swearing allegiance to the Queen or anything, but like isn't there like some like a part of that something?
I've never asked anyone who's got their citizenship what they said at the end. I don't know.
That's a good question.
Sorry, wasn't it?
I would ask my. I don't know. I wish that I could ask my aunt. She's not well, but I mean, like she like went from Jamaica to Canada, but I'm not really sure how that would work. Only because she was already. You know, because Jamaica at that time that she moved from that island over to Canada, Jamaica was still a British colony, you know, so those people were considered British citizens.
Right. You guys are super sweet. And it's kind of to Theo's point there. You never like told the Crown, fuck you, right? Like they just kind of like, oh, wait, I think I was talking to McGinnis, and he was like how did he explain it to me? Like, yeah, there are things that like Britain kind of does, and like the Queen has to like sign off on some shit, but she knows not to get like mouthy because.
Yeah, it's probably similar to what we've got with the UK Parliament. That you get royal assent, which just means the Queen puts a signature to whatever bill goes through.
Yeah, that thing.
Parliament. So, yeah.
The Queen go like, yes, this is fine with me. Good boy.
Like we all decided we're doing this. Okay.
And the Queen was like, fine if you want. And she says it just like that. And P, I only swear allegiance to my dog. So how about that? The cat would love me to swear allegiance to her, but I refuse. And for that, I think that she is secretly plotting to kill me and eat me.
The cat here just assumes we already did.
You know what? That's probably it. I think that the cat already assumes that I have and the entire family has pledged allegiance to her.
Of course.
That's why she feels that it's absolutely necessary to sometimes wake me up out of my bed just so I can feed her.
And you do understand that you're the hope,
Cat
right?
privilege.
I am. The cat does. The cat is a supremacist.
It's like what are you doing? You're sleeping, and I'm hungry. Like
Right.
this just
Don't
won't
forget.
do.
I am literally. Yeah. No, we're
Don't
all
forget it. It is Catterday.
Catterday. Every day is Catterday.
Every day though.
Every day is Catterday, according to the damn cat.
Absolutely.
I love how the cat that will sit in the middle of any room and just sit there like she's observing and perched and giving you her disdain for you being in existence without serving her.
Serious. Like I'm here and I'm not entertained. What is
Yeah.
wrong with you?
Yeah, the cat looks at all of us all the time like, I am here and you're not entertaining me. How dare you?
Yeah, like a cat.
Yeah, like a cat. Cats are jerks. It's science.
I remember coming home from work and seeing my cat stretched out like
Here's our
2.5 cushions of it. Yeah. 2.5 cushions of the couch, like with its paws up over its head, stretched out. And I walk into the room. The cat never wakes up. I go in. I lean right over it, and I wake it up like it. You know, cats wake you up in the morning. They're standing on your chest and breathing in your nose.
Oh my god!
So I wake it up like that, and it looks at me like, "You asshole."
Hilarious. Yes, the cat feels like, the cat's entitled. That's all that is.
Yeah.
She's totally cat. It's total cat privilege.
Yeah. No, I mean, we just think that we are in charge. Like, it's really the cat's world.
It really is, and we're just squirrels trying to get a nut.
I've had my cat walk up while I was having soup at the coffee table in the living room watching TV, and the cat walked up and looked at me like, "Oh, soup," and went pluk with its paw in the soup, and then. And I'm like, what the hell are you doing?
Oh my goodness.
Fucking cat. Oh my god.
You fucking cat. I don't know what I'm saying about the cat.
That's hilarious.
Oh my goodness. So the cat just decided you had food and the cat just decided to go ahead and just usurp your food.
Yeah.
Here's the cat. I don't know if you guys can see that.
I thought do you have a dog and a cat?
I do. There's a dog here, a cat here, and a turtle here.
Oh.
Yes, we have a whole menagerie going. It's crazy.
Do you have races?
Do we have races? Well, the cat will win. The cat will always win. Okay, this is probably better. Can you see, Tim?
Oh, yeah.
Better.
Yeah.
It's got like a raccoon tail.
Yeah, she does. What do they call that? That's a tabby. Yes. Let me see. I had a cat, a picture of the dog. The dog is very sweet, but she doesn't like protect anything. Oh, matter of fact, this is
what kind of dog is it?
It's a pit bull terrier.
Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna be like, it's a Pomeranian. I'm like, what do you?
Oh, here's a dog and a cat together.
Oh, the pit bull. Yeah, they're really just scary, right?
Well, but that's the thing. Like people think that she's scary, but she totally is not. Like, yeah. Like if somebody came in and tried to kill us and take all of our shit, as long as she gets petted, they would get away with it. Like totally. And I love the dog. I totally do love the dog, but the dog is fairly useless in protecting any goddamn thing in the house. She's just one of those pits. She's a very sweet dog. And she is and she's very even tempered, but she doesn't protect a goddamn thing. So sometimes I'm like, so why are you here? But I guess you're here because we love you. So what the fuck?
Well, you could put a sign up though, beware of the pit bull. That could be enough to dissuade some people anyway.
Well, I think that some people, when they hear her, remember I told you she'll bark when somebody's at the door, but it's more like barking at you that someone is at the door. Like you can't hear the doorbell ringing. So she's reminding you the doorbell is ringing. And so, but by the time that they get in and she's in, for the most part, she's like, oh, okay, they're fine because you opened the door. And it's like, but what if they were not fine? Doggy, what would you do? Absolutely nothing.
My cat, I don't know if you can see this behind me, but my cat learned how to sit like this on the couch from me. I taught him that.
Oh, wow. You know what? The cat that I live with, I would never call her my cat, will do that as well. I've caught her in some fairly compromising positions on the couch. I've caught her, kind of just like spread eagle with all her legs and whatnot, just chilling. And I also like videoed her eating spinach, raw spinach, by
like
the
in
way.
the garden or in the house?
In the house. Like I think that, I don't know if it was, I think I was cooking something with spinach and I dropped some leaves on the ground and she came up and ate it.
If they see you eating stuff, they will eat it. Yeah.
Yeah, and but she was eating it like this was like the bee's knees. Now the dog won't do that. Like if the dog detects any plants whatsoever, the dog was like, "Fuck that shit. I want meat."
Our dog used to eat carrots.
My dog won't do any of that. My dog, I think like I got her. The dog will eat my plant-based cheddar crackers.
Because they're expensive enough, right?
Right. Yeah. Like, oh, hey, these are $3.99. Not without tax. I'll eat that. Like she knows.
Yeah.
But like, I remember I have tried to give her, other things like bananas, like, because like sometimes dogs will eat bananas and other vegetables and fruits, and nope. But she'll eat fig Newtons.
Yeah.
She will eat fig Newtons. So like the dog has a sweet tooth, basically. So I don't know. Okay. Here, I got a picture of her eating. Okay, this is another picture of her eating spinach.
My dog ate a Frisbee once.
Wait, why?
Because it was in the backyard.
Okay, well, okay. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
The dog ate my mom's rosemary.
Oh yeah.
That was growing in the garden in the backyard. She did eat all the rosemary, and to the point where it won't grow again. We will have to actually plant new rosemary in order for it to grow.
I've heard of people who've had their cats go out and like roll around on certain shrubs or spice bushes or whatever, and just, I guess it's something like catnip or whatever. They like the smell. They just want to cover themselves in it.
You probably, well, rosemary is fairly fragrant. And so, and cats do like, well, they emit strong, fragrances. So I wouldn't necessarily think that they wouldn't be attracted to them too. So. Yes, Theo. Yes. So does the dog. The dog eats grass and pukes all the goddamn time. Actually, but it's kind of interesting that the dog, well, that's the only plant that it will eat. Like it will eat grass during the summer. And I always wonder why that is. And then I read somewhere that grass settles animals' stomachs.
I heard that cats
It is for digestive.
To make them hack up fur balls.
Cat grass will do that. Yep. We have some right outside here, actually, for the guy I just showed you.
I can't stand you, the sexy cat, Cynthia Leslie. Yes, the cat is the only sexy thing that lives in the house. It's the goddamn cat.
Damn sexy cat walks.
Damn sexy cat. Yeah,
somewhere there's an OnlyFans for sexy cats.
All right. I'm a sexy cat.
Well, folks, I hate to do this, but it is last call for alcohol. So,
yeah,
I do have stuff to do for this evening. So,
it's way early for you, Neil.
I know, but I got a pile of laundry screaming my name.
Yeah, I guess we kind of interrupted your day or switched your day around pretty much.
That's okay. That's okay.
Normally do early, you do later.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Just had to turn it topsy-turvy for today because, of course, my guest was in England and there's an 8-hour difference. So
indeed,
I wanted to do it earlier.
So we're gonna have to do like the round offs before we get off of this hole you dig.
That's right. Randolph's already digging a hole. It's okay.
Right, Randolph is digging a hole, so we already know what Randolph is on. It's all good.
Well, I'll tell you what, Cynthia. What we'll do is we will start with you.
Okay.
And you can go ahead and shill out your stuff.
Okay. So I am and I am a nonprofit. I will be on the episode tomorrow that's airing at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time with Villa Bianca. And the nonprofits is basically a show from the ACA that talks about, social and political articles from a skeptical point of view. And I also have a show called The 13%. That is currently on hiatus, but we will be coming back. Also, I write a blog called ADOSHealthandWellness.com, which I will be revamping, but it's still there. I have really good articles on it as well, so you want to check that out. A lot of stuff you can get from my link tree at linktr.ee.com/camglamming. So follow me, all that great stuff.
All right. Thank you very much. Next up, Dave.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Hey, I'm Dave. When I'm not doing other things, I'm here with Neil, hanging out, having a good time. Do some little bit of content here and there. And you can find me at Dave Secular on Twitter, or Simply Secular Dave, wherever you see Simply Secular Daves near you.
Good chance it's you. All right, Sam, your turn.
On YouTube and Twitter, I am Sam Chaos, and I have this snake avatar. Though on Twitter at the moment, it's one drawn by Navadia.
Oh yeah.
Oh, nice.
And on Twitter, I scream into the void. I'm very occasionally helpful, and sometimes I get into fights.
Sounds like my life.
And on YouTube, I talk about a variety of things, whatever bullshit I'm interested in. At the moment, in my home life, I've had a bunch of bullshit piled on. So I didn't end up doing a video last month. I try and do a video a month, but this month's video is going to be about pronouns. And in the next few weeks, I am going to have a podcast starting called Pub Religion. Where me and my two co-hosts, called Maddie and Will, are going to be kind of between us. We're a Christian, an atheist, and a pagan, and we're going to chat about various theological topics on our podcast. So I think the first few episodes are just going to be introducing ourselves, but that we're going to have the first episode of that out in a few weeks.
Excellent.
Nice.
Looking forward to that. Let's throw Jeff up here next.
Hello. Yeah, well, I'm got the Scummer on YouTube. I've obviously got a channel, got myself a Patreon as well. What's what I've got coming up? Be today UK time 1 p.m. So that's like 8 a.m. Eastern. I'll be on my channel. I do a regular stream with Usual Noodle, where we go through the old Asterix comics books.
Cool.
So that's doing that today. Then directly after that today, I'll be on One Ring 42's channel for their show Media Musings. And it's because it's Valentine's Day, they're covering a film that's a bit of a classic love story today. It's called Deadpool, apparently. So that's what I've got kind of coming up in the immediate future. I have been doing some streams recently. We're going through some of the more insane stuff on Twitter. Like, for example, like Greg Locke's Twitter feed, Marjorie Taylor Greene's Twitter feed was the latest one we've done. So, yeah, I go through the stupid on Twitter, so you don't have to.
Yeah.
When you say Asterisk Comics, are you talking about the comic books from like back in the late 60s, 70s? Is that
they still do?
Yeah,
Dude.
yeah. Oh, yeah. They're still doing them, but yeah, we're.
I think I may have one or two of those.
I do too.
Yeah, it's interesting because we get to talk a bit about sort of Roman history and that on them as well. But sometimes we do have to confront the fact that some of the artwork in that is not does not hold up very well. Should we say, especially the depictions of racial minorities.
Yeah,
some of them are bad.
Yeah, yep.
So
very true.
Anyway, that's me.
All right. Well, thanks, Jeff. And last but not least, of course, the first person to jump in with us, Maya.
God, no, I don't do shit. Follow, like, where is this? Oh, where am I going? Am I over here? No, I'm going over here. All these people, yeah, follow all of these people here. You will find me on their channels drinking and talking shit in the side chat.
Nice.
And Twitter. Don't forget Twitter.
And Twitter. Oh, yeah, I love talking shit in Twitter. It's fun.
Exactly.
Twitter is not for the faint of heart. Don't do that.
It is so not. It is so not. I get into a fight in Twitter about every fucking day, even when I'm trying not to.
It's called Twitter.
I know.
Just
Yeah.
saying,
Mood.
drink wine and talk shit.
Hell yeah.
Exactly. Well, thank you, Maya. Maya's actually always in the chats for the YouTube stuff too, so you can always find her hanging out and making fun of people in the YouTube chats as well.
Yes.
All right. So, anyways,
Maya needs a channel. Just saying.
No.
But anyways, I want to thank all you guys for hanging out with the African Humanist and myself today. It was a lot of fun having everyone in. I hope you guys in the chat enjoyed the show today. If you missed the original interview, there's a link to it below, so you can head over there, and over on that screen, you'll also find all of the African Humanists links in the description box there as well. So, and of course, to all my amazing patrons, you guys are why the show keeps going, just like it says in this little sucker right here. And I've altered these a little bit because very soon Randolph Richardson and I are starting our own call-in show called True North Talk. So go over there and subscribe so you don't miss our launch, which should be sometime in the quite near future once we get the studio finished. Head over there and give us a sub. And come and watch me and some other great hosts like Cynthia and many more, Jenna Miu and Martin and Jim Barrows. And there's so many I could name. Johnny and my producer Mikey has been a special guest on the show and will probably be back. So there's a lot of fun. And like Cynthia mentioned earlier, they will be airing tomorrow between Talk Heathen and Atheist Experience at around 3 p.m. Central Time. So head over to the channel and subscribe so you don't miss any of the great shows that pop out there. And last but not least, of course, on the last Sunday of every month at 2 p.m. Pacific Time, watch Andy, Seamus, and myself on Atheist Drinking Out Loud over on the Laughing in Disbelief channel, which is Andy's channel. And other than that, guys, thank you all so much for hanging out with us today. If you guys enjoyed the show, don't forget to subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and smash that like button because it does help in the algorithms. And until next time, guys, like I always say at the end of these shows, like the late, great Carl Sagan once said, extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. And we will see you guys next time.